Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tides of Death. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good.
Very
Pretty
good.
Pretty good.
Good, good. Does anyone have a pirate fact for me? I think there's one out there.
I
Ah, thank
come
God.
bearing the pirate fact.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm here to talk about Grace O'Malley, the Pirate Queen of Ireland.
Oh shit.
Queen soy.
Yes, Queen. um,
Tell me.
Grace O'Malley was the daughter of a noble seafaring family on the west coast of Ireland, who had a somewhat good, sometimes tenuous relationship with the British Crown and the local British governors and nobility.
As
Uh,
you should.
They're kind of described as traders, which is somewhat true, but they were also kind of like a coastal mafia. Like they would,
Which is
you
somewhat
know, if
true,
you
but
were
they were also
fishing in the Galway Bay or anywhere off the coast of Mayo, and their ship rolled up, they would be like, "Give us some fucking money, or we're taking your ship." Uh, they built a whole bunch of like castles along the coastline so they could like spot people fishing and then be like, "Hang on a minute," get in their boats and like go be like, "Listen, you can't fish here." Um, since she was a young kid, she wanted to actually go on boats and stuff like that. But her dad was like, "No, you can't go. You've got long hair like a girl." So that's why she cut her hair really, really short, and she got the name Grania Ni Walia, which basically means bald Grania or bald Grace. So she was basically known as a bald woman. That was like her nickname. Uh, she spoke a whole bunch of different languages: Scots, Irish, and Latin, I think. And she recruited a lot of Scottish sailors for some reason. I don't know why, but most of her crew were like Scottish people. The most famous story about her was actually her pregnancy with like her second or third son. They were on a trade route down to the Mediterranean, down around Spain, and she was pregnant and she gave birth to her second son on the ship. And an hour later, they were attacked by a Algerian corsair fleet, and she fought in the battle. Like obviously not with the baby in her arm because that would be, but like she was like directing people as like she had a pistol and she was shooting at people. Only a couple of
minutes
hours
after having given birth.
Yeah, like now it's maybe a bit apocryphal. She probably was like at the top of the deck with a pistol in her hand, being like, "Go turn the ship that way." You know what I mean?
But still being like, I'm gonna have this child. Oh no, there's pirates. All right, well, let's get out of the bed and go do this. Like, that's pretty fucking intense, man.
Yeah, and the one of the most famous stories that she has is she became such a nuisance because she was like, kind of fomenting a little bit of rebellion and stuff, and the relationship between England and Ireland wasn't great, and the crown was like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't do that." So she actually went and had a meeting with the Queen, and she refused to bow to the Queen, and she also snuck a dagger into the meeting with the Queen, which like really pissed off all of the Queen's guards. But she was like, "I brought that,"
Jesus.
like she was like, "I brought that to protect myself," and the Queen was like, "I'll allow it."
That's badass.
And then she also fought in many battles in her castles. She had like a series of castles. Now you might be thinking of like a castle, but these kind of castles, it's more of like a tower, like like because you're guarding an entire coastline, and you might get like 25 dudes showing up who are like, "Open the door," and then you show back no, and then they leave, and that's like the battle. But she fought in loads of those kind of battles, and she lived a very, very long life and died of old age in her own house. And she is
Wow.
super famous in Irish culture.
What was her name? Catherine O'Malley?
Grace O'Malley or Granuala. I said it wrong. Grania Niwala.
God damn. Well, that is definitely worth 10% right there. That is a
Hell
nice,
yeah.
deep pirate lore section. Go ahead and take your 10%. And while you're
Thank
doing
you.
that, why doesn't someone else remind us of where we left off last week?
Yeah, Mooten, why don't you remind us?
Last week, Nilram had a grand idea. Our idea is that we are going to actually team up with the goblins, and we are going to kill all of the humans on this island and let them have it. The main reason is to destabilize this island from the White Prince's grasp, and he'll at the very minimum have to move forces over there to deal with it, or it'll be a nice safe haven for us to come to. So we just traded sail, and he's going to stay with the goblins. We're going to bring back the goblin chief's armor and say that we killed him, throw a party, and then we're going to kill the goblins with Or sorry, we're gonna kill the humans with the goblins.
Nice. All right. Is there anything that we need to talk about or recap before we hop back into game?
I think we have there is a Ties of Death Patreon now. If you guys want to support us there,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
if you guys want to support the campaign, I'm sure there's a command for it in chat or something, or a link someone will post.
Patreon.com/tidesofdeath. There's a bunch of tiers. You get things. You get access to a Discord with all of the cast members and Koibu. Yeah, check it out.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay. So our party leaves the encounter with goblins, which looked something like this, and begins to head back. -1 sail.
Oh, did we have a full conversation before you guys left about like making sure we all understood the plan?
We probably should.
I think we had that conversation, but we can.
Do we need to
Let's
recap
do
it
it
real
for our
quick?
own
Yeah, we can
sakes.
recap it. Yeah.
It was like at the end of the session, so maybe like a quick 2-minute conversation, make sure we're all on the same page.
So I think as we get ready to leave, you come with us to the edge of the camp and we huddle up for a second to just go through the plan here. All right, so if I'm understanding this correctly, we leave Sail here, we go back to town, we say that he got killed, but we killed the goblin leader. What was his name again?
Dreadness?
Dreadness, yeah.
Dreadness. We killed Dreadness. Here's his armor. Town should be saved. The goblins have fled. And what, should we say that we didn't kill them all, but we killed the majority and they've like separated into the woods or something?
I know.
Maybe upon killing their leader, a bunch of them fled, because
Yeah.
Archie's super confused by this plan. He has no idea what the fuck is going on, but he's just going along with it.
All right, and then we say that, to honor our friend and to celebrate our victory, we encourage them to have a party. And then the plan is for the goblins to attack when the fire starts going, right? And
Yeah.
yes.
When are we meant to be doing that? In a couple of days' time? Tomorrow? Tonight?
Whenever the party happens.
I
Just
think
whenever.
you were going to give us some kind of signal, right?
Yeah, we were gonna do like a fire signal. There's gonna be
Gotcha.
like a lot of fires and lights on and stuff, and that'll be the
Okay.
signal.
What about the Inquisitor? What if he doesn't come?
We handle this side of the island and we get the fuck out.
Yep.
But if he does come, I point to Sail. We're gonna need you to cast your lightning spell on his ship as he comes over.
And start it straight away. He'll recognize it. He'll flee back to his side of the coast. It has to be when he's too far in to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it about halfway. Yeah. You should be able to judge that with a wisdom check.
Yeah. One thing we should consider as a group though is there may be a cleric on the other side who can also cast the spells that I'm able to, and if they don't come too, and we try to leave on our boat at some point, depending on the timing, we might be in trouble.
How long is the range? Would you be able to reach a ship on the other side of the strait?
I would have to. I don't know how wide the strait is. How wide is the strait, Koibu? Is it?
Let's take a look at the.
I think you said it would be like
15 minutes.
across or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a couple of miles, maybe like a mile and a half across. So I think someone who is rowing pretty steadily can do it in 15 or 20 minutes, depending on tides and waves and winds and stuff.
So we would be safe in that case then.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Only issue I see with the plan is if we kill the Inquisitor in the water, we'll lose any items he has on him, which might be the main reason for going through with this.
Why would we lose it?
Sink to the depths
It's a
I
shallow.
have lasting breath.
and go
Which
down
will
and
let
look
you-
for it.
Yeah, I have lasting breath, which will let you hold your breath for a extra long time.
Okay, yeah.
1d4 rounds plus 1 per level, so you'll, I don't know, have like 10 minutes to go down there. I also have detect magic, which will help us find it.
Yeah, you can track it down and I'll dive down and get it. Okay, that works.
With a full rest, I could also give us a couple of hours, like each of us an hour of water breathing.
There you go.
All right, we don't want to kill the humans too quickly. We want to give them time to try and signal the Inquisitor or something. I'm sure they've got some way of bringing him over here.
We should act like we're defending, but never hurt a goblin, and only kill humans in like, if you find one in an alley.
Why?
Until they signal. So like, wait a little bit, I guess, for us to start turning.
And what? We want to keep the cook alive? Might be a big ask given the situation.
if we can keep the cook alive, that'd be perfect. But let's just see who's available afterwards. We get half of the loot.
She's an old lady. She won't be fighting. She'll be holed up in a restaurant probably. We can just go there and get her afterwards.
She'll probably be serving food at the party.
We gotta keep the cook alive.
Okay.
You could wizard lock her house actually before the battle.
Wait, what's wizard lock? I say to Nilrim, giving him an eye.
Sale doesn't know what that is. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
You
That,
spoke it.
Okay.
yeah, my bad. That was more of an out of character thing. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like signify that I'm saying out of character.
That's fine.
All right. Well, I didn't agree with the plan at first because I felt like we were going to end up with rusty goblin spears in our backs the second we left town and came to this place. But it seems, Nilrim, maybe these people are things and more trustworthy than I thought. For now, though, keep your eyes open. They might still betray us.
We will send the signal probably today or tomorrow, Sale. The signal will be just a big fire outside of camp, yeah? I mean, what do we want the signal to exactly be?
Well, we're not going to be able to send it ourselves, right? It'll have to be a fire. Just a big fire. Sound of music.
Okay, sure, I guess. I mean, that's the signal enough.
Fire and music.
Just make sure the goblins have watches in the woods near the town. Should be pretty obvious when it's happening.
Yeah, I'll talk to Dreadness about it.
You know, if we do kill the Inquisitor, we pick the lock on our boat. Do we go over there and loot that side of the town as well? They can't have too many guards there. We kill the Inquisitor and kill however many guards he can fit on his boat, then
We might as well.
don't need to kill anyone over there, but at least we could do is loot their treasury or whatever.
I'm sure there's probably a lot of really useful information in
I know.
wherever the Inquisitor lives.
Yeah, we need
Also-
to go to the Inquisitor's place and see if we can figure out how to, like, make our boat legal.
Yeah. Also, when the fight with the goblins is going on, I'm worried that if too many of them survive, are they really going to want to give up the loot? They might think they can take us. Maybe we should, and vice versa, if enough of them die, why split the loot? Why not just kill the rest of them ourselves and then take it?
Because we made a deal, and we're men and women of our words, Captain. We made a promise, and when we make a promise, we keep it. We talked about this, yes?
Dreadness isn't an idiot.
To each other, perhaps. Yeah, fine.
He knows it could be risky to try and take us, even after a battle.
Say we
least he
put our
doesn't-
trust in them.
It's better than putting our trust in the White Prince.
And none. All right, Sale. We'll see you tonight or tomorrow.
Wait. I have a question.
In
I
game
look at the captain very sternly.
For Archie, what is it?
So, how many goblins am I punching now?
No goblins, Archie. That's it. Humans from now on. Don't punch anyone until you see me stab someone.
Okay, but not the goblins.
Not the goblins, no.
The goblins.
At least not for now.
Humans, but not
Humans.
the cook.
But not yet. Not straight away. We're playing it cool
Okay.
here.
I think I got it.
We need them to think
Don't
that
punch any
we're on their
goblins.
side.
Don't punch any humans until you start stabbing someone.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
Okay, I got it.
Do you really have it, Archie?
Think so.
All right. Well, the party can leave the woods and head back to town. And sure enough, as you reapproach that little...
Wait. Before we go, hang on. I pull out a dagger. You think we shouldn't go back unwounded?
Neural will make him... I mean, I think we can make ourselves look sufficiently wounded without actually taking real damage. Is that okay, Koibu?
Just tell me how you do it.
As Nil.
If I give Captain Winters a black eye, am I gonna need to give him damage?
Yeah, alright. I see you thinking that. My plan unfoils, and I'm gonna punch you in the face. just one good little punch, you know. Feel like you got it coming a little bit.
Okay.
What do I roll here now? D20. What's
Yeah,
that
a
level?
normal roll to hit. You can just
Can I
use the
get
basic
dex save
melee
for
attack
this?
button.
You
No.
need to look
We're just gonna use
wounded.
AC.
Yeah, we're just
I
using
feel
AC.
like-
But just roll then.
What's the surprise
I'm
bonus?
I'm rolling. Oh shit.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
dodges. I'll handle myself, Captain Winters. Okay.
Yeah, of course. I was only fucking around. Calm down. I'm such a Howard.
Archie will
Yeah,
start punching a tree, so his fists look like he's been
Yeah,
punching
that's a good
stuff.
idea.
Yeah, you get a
Norm's
nice and
gonna-
tenderized, a little bit abrased.
Noah's
Yeah.
gonna cut his robe a little bit. Put some like make it look like a goblin. I don't know. Attacked him there.
Mm-hmm.
He's also gonna take some of Archie's blood, put it on his dagger. Put some dried blood on his like cheek,
Mm-hmm.
and punch his eye. Where he kind of gives himself a black eye. He's gonna try, but you know.
Slam your fist into your face a few times, sort of soften it up, get it a little
Yeah.
bruised.
Yeah. I guess I'll cut a slash along one of my hands and then rub some of the blood somewhere, so it kind of looks like I grabbed a sword or something like that when I was fighting.
Okay. The party is sufficiently wounded and heads back to town. When you come back to that first outskirting little farm village, the one whose buildings you torched, you can see that there are now some people gathered around, including the woman you were speaking to. I believe her name was Rebecca.
Yeah, we're dragging Dreadness's armor, or Archie can carry it, but I think dragging's cooler.
Rebecca hurries up to you to see what's all of this going on. Are you
Oh,
okay?
Rebecca.
What happened? What happened? What is that? Where's your fourth member?
We've got quite the story to tell, but it's good news, I hope. Unfortunately, Sale, he didn't make it.
Norum looks down. Sad.
Archie's eyes will widen. This is news to him. Sale didn't make it?
It was, I sort of pat him on the back and I say to Rebecca, you know, he can be a bit slow sometimes. Yeah, it was a tough fight, but we killed their leader. They fled. Took a lot of them down with them. I don't think you'll have much trouble anymore. And I say, like, I motion to Archie to, like, throw the armor to her.
Archie will do it, but he's really sad about Sale.
She takes the armor and looks at it and goes, This is the armor of the big goblin. I remember when he asked us to pay this in tribute to him ages ago.
Yeah. He's
We
dead.
handled him at the cost of our friend. I
It
hope it
wasn't
was
just
worth
him.
it to you.
There's a lot of them out there.
What happened? Tell me all about it, she says, and like walks to your side and motions to head back to town, wanting to hear the story. And you
Well,
guys
start-
can either
start
give me a
walking.
story or you can just give me a bullshit check if you'd like to not.
I can give you a
relate
story
to
if you
one.
want.
Yeah, give me
Yes.
a story.
Me and Winters will go back and forth. So Norum will start. After we told you to fall back, they came to the town and they started raising it, and we battled them here a little bit, but then they ran back and we ran after them, where they had a ambush set up and their leader was there.
It was a
I know.
bloodbath.
Yeah.
They came at us out of the trees. Maybe 15, 20, I say, looking at the other two. It's hard to say, but then that big bastard wearing that armor came out. Started talking in common, would you believe? Started saying this was his island and the humans here were trespassing and all this and that. Sick of his bullshit, we just obviously carried on with the fight. Eventually, Nilrim managed to put him down with some magic, the only thing that could get past that armor of his.
Sale heroically fought 4 or 5 goblins as I finished off the big one. I couldn't save him. I tried.
He might have still been alive when we left, but they had him. They were dragging him back out of the forest, and he was bleeding.
The screams, Captain.
It's alright, it's alright. I'm sure, look, the battle's won. This is a good day, and Sales died doing a good thing. It's what he would have wanted. Maybe, we need something to take our mind of it. Listen,
What-
Rebecca, have you got anything?
Wait, what magic?
around here?
She looks at Nilrum and then back to Captain Winters. What magic?
We've already talked to the Inquisitor about it.
Yeah. Like I said, we're not from the
not from
Dardens.
She takes a nice hard look at Nilrum. She looks towards your clothing. She looks towards your neckline. She's looking for holy symbols of a deity, which she does not find. Are you a mage?
You could say that.
Rebecca, after all this, you're not going to turn us into authorities here, are you?
I am the authority here.
Even then, they already know. We already talked to the Inquisitor, and he said that we'd have a big conversation after we dealt with the goblins, which we have.
Okay. She shakes her head and walks back with you to town, not wanting to push an already tense situation.
Good.
Soon, the party arrives back at the village, and there are people gathered in the streets. People with small weapons, hose and pitchforks turned into temporary makeshift weapons. Some people out there with hammers, a shovel, whatever little bits they can find, even a couple proper spears and swords. You can see that the wee folk of this area are uncomfortable. They're not all armed, but some of them are, and there's a tension in the air.
How many would you say there are armed?
Oh, there's probably 30 or 40 armed people, plus what looks to be about 15 soldiers or guardsmen, and then another couple hundred unarmed people.
Oh.
What's the deity that Rebecca's wearing again? Does she wear?
Her armor has the symbol of a stare on it, but she doesn't adorn herself with the symbols outside of the standard
chest mail
chest piece. Yeah. She begins to wave people over and hops up on a little walkway, and that sits over the main market in town and relates the same story that you did, telling everyone that you guys fought the goblins, that you slew their leader, and that one of your own number has fallen in the way. But otherwise, the goblin threat should be canceled and nullified. There are a couple of scattered cheers, but most people just look around a little uncomfortable, maybe not sure if this is really true. Can it be? You can hear the murmurings in the crowd. Really, the goblin threat gone forever? It seems unlikely. Aren't they just going to... No. They're only following the one leader. Goblins, they're also scatterbrained. They need a strong person to keep them together. But really, could it be over now? Just these 4 people or 3 people? And you guys have a lot of eyes turning to you.
I mean, I guess as people start looking, I'll speak up and say, "Fear not, villagers. Due to the brave sacrifice of our men, the goblins' leader is destroyed, their numbers shattered, and those that remain fled into the forests, never to bother this fair town here again."
Nilram can't help but smile. He's really fucked up, and he gets a sick thought, like a sick smile, because these people are going to all be killed from the goblins. So Nilram's very excited.
Captain Winters, give me a charisma check, please.
You always pass these, so here's the one to fail.
Easy.
Oh, good.
Easy.
And then I lead a cheer after that. After I finish saying that last line, I'll go, "Way!" To... shit, what's the name of the sound? Where's the name of the island now?
He just yells out glory, and then...
Crob Island.
Crob.
To Crob Island, and freedom from the goblins.
Woo! A counter cheer goes up amongst the people, and soon what booze and music they have begins to flood out into the streets. The soldiers are told to keep an eye out, and you can see them dispersing towards the east end of the island, or east end of the town. But the people themselves in here seem to be overjoyed. You can hear them talking back and forth about the tribute they've had to pay, the taxes, having to give their finest weapons to goblins, having to always sort of be under the threat, not being able to go out into that section of the woods. And you can hear countless people praising and thanking Astaire, the great god of justice, of law, of order, for protecting them, for delivering them heroes who would fight the goblins. Glory be to Astaire, the great god, and the White Prince. Thank God for the White Prince.
I'll whisper to the captain, ask him for, do they have anything for us?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Rebecca promised us. I think...
tip, Captain.
Yeah. I walk off away from the revelry, thinking about what's going to happen here and feeling uneasy about it. And I'll see if I can't catch Rebecca's eye and motion her over to me.
Yeah, there are a couple of people standing around her, shaking her hand and chatting with her. And, she catches your eye, and it's like an endless line of people who want to talk to her. So she makes some polite excuses and weaves her way through the crowd until she comes to you. Yes?
Yeah, Rebecca. Hate to bring this up right now, but a couple of things. You know, we've lost a good man out here, and when we first spoke about this deal, you kind of implied that there might be some reward for it on our end. And I was hoping at the very least you might be able to get my boat unchained.
Absolutely. Not the White Prince, the Inquisitor on the other side has your keys. So come morning, we'll row over there, get the keys. You can have any chats you need with them, and that'll be that.
And reward?
Right, reward. Well, I did say that we would give you a few months of tribute, so I guess we can take care of that now. Go with me.
Fantastic. Thank you. Funerals are expensive these days.
She grumbles a little bit and waves a couple of her other soldiers over towards her, and the three of them plus you head towards the small guards outpost just beyond the market square.
Question.
Yeah.
Where was the armor left?
Let's see, you guys would have dragged it back into town. She would have had it on display at the top of the staircase where she gave her little speech.
I'm going to ask if we can... Well, I guess I'll interrupt as well. I'll point to the armor. Are we allowed to keep that and as a, I don't know, a memento to our
It's
fallen
yours.
ally?
She waves to it.
Neural will go and he's going to grab that. His intention is... I want to give that to the big goblin again when fighting happens, you know? Because he's going to need that. So, yeah. Neural will get it and store it in the house.
Great. You pack up the armor. You can put it in the house. What are you doing?
Archie.
Archie, yes.
Participating in the feast, morning sales death with a lot of pints and some fish and chips if I can.
Right, yeah. Well, everyone is seeming to be happy and celebrating and chatting amongst themselves, while Captain Winters and the three guards head back to the little guard's hut. The door will open, the guards will come on in, take a look about, make sure everything's fine, and Rebecca will head to a room, which is also locked, leaves the door open and motions you to follow her, and there at the back of the room is a steel chest banded with bronze. She pulls out her keys and puts one in one side, puts one in the other, turns them both simultaneously, and opens the chest. And
We're
much
just
money's
keeping
in
track of which key, right?
Yes, yes.
Inside is a small collection of copper and silver. Mostly is tucked in bags, but some of it is just disorganized. And she will pull out...
You're gonna give me some copper.
300 silver.
She will pull out 20 bags of copper for you.
Oh, she's actually
not
trying to
copper. I'm sorry, silver. 20 bags of silver
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
Okay,
How much is that?
Okay.
20 times 5, or 20 times 50 should be 1,000.
1,000 silver. Okay. I will at some point carry this over to my room in the place we're staying because I can't afford
That's
to keep
100
on my
gold?
character sheet. Well, it's 1,000 silver, not 100 gold.
But I'm just talking about the exchanging.
Oh yeah. But in terms of party sheet.
We should talk about it in copper, you know? 10,000 copper.
All right, I've added 1,000 silver to the party sheet, Neil, assuming that I can ferry that over to the inn room. I want to keep track. Does she keep both of the keys on like a belt or something?
Yeah, she has one fat key ring with maybe a half dozen keys on it. You saw her use 4, and it looked like they were 4 different keys.
How much is
All
left
for the same
in
chest.
that chest?
No, there was one for the main door, there's one for the back room, and then there were 2 for the chest.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And how much was in the chest total, do we reckon? And was that like
Looks
a
like
half
there
of
were maybe
it?
40 bags in the chest, plus a whole bunch of mixed coinage that hadn't been separated out into bags. So,
So this is like half that money.
probably more, since the remaining bags probably have copper in them.
Damn.
At least half the money that was kept in that spot.
This place is really fucked.
We're about to kill a lot of people for 300 silver.
Goddamn right we are.
That's going to be worth it too.
Okay. Well,
I follow her out, and then I want to, as I come back and walk back towards the party, I want to catch Norm's eye and walk away from everyone else and get him to come over to me.
as you're
I'll
headed
follow.
back to the party, she will shake your hand, thank you a couple times. Captain Winters, I don't think I gave you my proper thanks before. I know you lost a good man during this, and well, thank you
Terrible
for
shame.
being willing to sacrifice and work so hard to free our people. We will be grateful to you. Is there anything that you would like us to do or say in your honor?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. I couldn't stand to see good folks like this be subservient to goblins. It just wouldn't stand back in my homeland.
Oh, you have
As
a
for what
different
you can
name
do
though,
to
don't
me?
you? It's Capture Waterford.
Waterford, yeah. As for what you can do for me, just enjoy yourself, Rebecca. Have a drink. Maybe get the lady from the restaurant. What's her name? The fish and chips?
The cook?
Yeah, what's her name, Neil?
Yeah, the cook. I went there for dinner the other night. It was delicious.
And what would you like me? I'm not. What?
Oh, well, it's rather presumptuous of me, but I was just wondering, we've not eaten for a while, and my friends and I, we were talking on the way back.
You've been gone all night, of course. I mean, hunger, battle sets in hunger. I'll see to it that you've got some food, of course.
I didn't want to be rude. Thank you. Yes.
So she'll
All right,
hurry
enjoy
off.
yourself too, as I walk off. And then I want to catch Norum's eye.
Yeah, now you can
I
catch
come
Norum.
over.
You think this is a problem? Looks like it's happening tonight.
No one will give you a wicked smile. I can't wait.
You think they're ready?
The goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They're coming. Just wait.
I
We need
look
to figure out
look
what
out
we
into
need to
the
figure out where
trees.
to put this armor. So, you know who can wear it? He whispers.
Does he need it? Let him find it himself.
I would assume he'd want it. I have it in our hut at home right now.
Okay, well, you can give it to him when you see him. I mean, I don't see how we can leave it out for him.
I'm done.
All right, don't drink too much, but don't drink too little either. You need to look like you're having a good time.
I'm having the best time of my life, Captain. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can see that, Norm. It's kind of fucked up,
Noram's
Yes.
gonna. Noram is gonna skip over. I'm sure there's some kids, dancing around. Noram's gonna skip over and go and start dancing with the kids, asking them their names.
Jesus Christ.
Noram's fucked up.
Yeah, he's fucked up. That's true.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think I'll go and drink with Archie.
Nope.
I want to be with Archie when the shit goes down.
How are you gonna signal the shit to go down?
We said music, fire. So the music's
Yeah,
going
we need
on.
to get a fire going. All right, that's what I'm gonna do then. I'm gonna go and find some firewood in the town and start putting together a fire in the middle of the. There must be a spot where they put fires on. I'm gonna get people involved. Like, hey, come on, let's get a fire going.
Yeah.
And I'll start making a fire.
You're the hero of the day. You want to build a fire in the middle of the town square? No one's going to say otherwise right now. And it takes maybe 15, 20 minutes for it to get up and roaring, but soon enough it is. From the other side,
Fantastic.
deep within the woods, well, actually shallowly in the woods, Sail, you will see a little light begin to brighten over the town in the distance. And one of the goblins begins to garble in their language, and the other ones pick up and point out, and soon the lead goblin thumbs his finger in the direction, gives a command to the rest of his people, and they begin to move, and then he turns to you and says, "Oi, we're going out."
I'll say to him, now remember the plan. Right before we go into town, I'm going to give your soldiers the blessing, right?
He groans in appreciation of what you're going to do. What blessing are you giving? Is it the bless spell?
The bless spell, yeah.
It's gonna make such a big difference in this fight, though.
How many
that
goblins
depends,
can
'cause
you
I actually had a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I had a question. Does Rohi actually hate goblins, and would he even let me bless them? Maybe.
And they're fighting the
Great
White
question.
Prince's man.
That's true. That would be the cause I would invoke while casting bless.
Yeah.
Well, soon you and the goblins begin to push out of the woods. You come across the very outskirts of town, and there are a few people here who haven't gone into the city, who aren't interested in the partying, who are just back at home. And the first few goblins spring towards the huts, kick open the doors, bust down windows, and you can hear a few scattered shrieks from inside as the humans residing within are quickly dispatched. The goblins
But we don't
come
hear
out-
this in the town.
No. This is
Okay, good.
half a mile out of town. The goblins will drag out the bodies, Some of them will feast upon the dead, trying to imbue themselves with the power of those that they've slain. Others begin to ransack the buildings. The lead goblin, Dreadness, doesn't really mind this. This is part of sacking a town, so he motions the other goblins forward, knowing these ones will soon catch up. We're going to roll some dice, because there are some soldiers who are being good soldiers and keeping a watch out while everyone parties. You know, there might be scattered bands of goblins coming for revenge, or who knows what. Roll pretty crap on their perception. Goblins roll even worse on their stealth. There's no point in trying to sneak in. They're here en masse. And so quickly, your goblins come across one of these patrols of guardsmen. 2 soldiers walking down the road towards the outskirts of the village. And our goblins will make a couple of attacks right away. There are 6 goblins, so they will take 6 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, those are terrible rolls. One of them will hit a soldier for 4 points of damage. A soldier who has 13 life. Seeing this, the soldiers will immediately run and begin to head back into town. Goblins will get a second round of attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which will be a 19 and a 14. So another 2 hits. Damage. 8 damage total to a 13 HP guard. The 2 guards will make their way, will be able to start to outpace the goblins and make their way back into town.
All right, as soon as I hear people, like, see the guards, I want to immediately make myself scarce and hide.
Before they make town, Sale, you see this happening. You see these 2 guards show up. Goblins make some pitiful bow attacks, missing them mostly in the darkness where the guards flee. You can see the little lantern light bobbing back and forth as the guards run away. Is there anything you want to do, say, prepare for as the only witness in the party to this event? No?
I don't think so. I think I would just say get to the entrance of the town. Continue as planned.
Oh, yeah. And they're going. The goblins have put down their bows, or put them to the sides, and begin to break into a run after the guards who make their way back to town.
And the goblins catch?
We're going to make our... Go ahead, sorry.
As they approach the town, I would like to be with them and to cast Bless, just as they get to the town. So they have, a couple rounds of Bless.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take our first break right here, and when we come back, we will see what happens as the goblins invade the city. And the party bravely defends it against the incoming monsters. The darkness. See you guys on the other side of our break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. The goblins begin to arrive in town. The 2 people who were chased away make it back and quickly find Rebecca and one other soldier, relay to them, and word spreads like wildfire through the beginning to party people that the goblins maybe not as gone as we had hoped. Those that hear it begin to shriek and run into different directions. Rebecca and the other guard immediately run around trying to find more support. They find you guys because you're hanging out right around here.
No, I'm hiding. I want to hide as soon as this starts.
I don't want to give her a perception check then, because you wouldn't know if it starts until something lets you know. Like, her looking for you might be the signal.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
D20 plus 11. Yeah, you're pretty close by. You got the hat. There's a crowd around you. People are asking you for, autographs and detention and all that sort of stuff. So you're pretty easy to spot. And she will make her way towards you and say, "Captain Waterford, get your men. Some of the goblins have come back." And then she dashes off without another word.
Is she around you? She's still with these 2 guards.
One of the other guards, there was some other guard that she would talk to a moment ago, and they're going in different directions looking for the remaining soldiers.
I want to chase after her.
Yeah, I mean, I think Norum's nearby too, and he's going to follow as well.
Easy peasy. Yep. What about you, Young?
I can deal with her, man.
I'm with Captain Winters at this time. I assume. So I think I'll just follow him.
All right, so the 3 of you chase off after Rebecca as she flees the market, looking for the other soldiers. We're probably on the outskirts of town.
My plan was to try and backstab her, but I don't think I can do that with all 3 of us.
But you can still try.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to follow a nail, but I want to keep her in eyesight, but not give away that I'm doing it, right? I'm waiting for her to go into a house or something like that.
Yeah, she will head down a street, take a corner. You can come to the corner and find Rebecca where she has stopped talking to 2 different soldiers and motioning back into the direction of town, or back to the direction of the town square.
The soldiers looking at me if I approach to
I'll yell, because I'm there. I'll point to the soldiers. I know where they are. Come on, let's go. Follow.
Yeah, they begin to run in your direction while Rebecca looks around, thinks to herself, and then like sternly heads in another direction.
Okay, I tell the soldiers it's back that way, and I'm gonna point like west. I don't know which way it would be, so
yeah, the soldiers are coming. She had originally gone down this path.
Okay.
And then like took a left down some street over there. So you guys could be just at the left turn, maybe another 100 feet past.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell them that it's that way then, and just point like back way this alley.
Okay, you like back towards the ocean side of things?
Yeah, that way, yeah.
Great.
All right. I want to follow Rebecca and get closer and stab her in the back.
Right.
I'm going to make sure that these soldiers get going. I assume that they're going to be running, so.
They will be.
Yep.
I'm going to need you to make me a move silently check if you want to catch her quietly. With a penalty because you're trying to go quickly, and if this fails, then we can still do a dex check. Just move silently is all powerful. So,
got it.
That's what your penalty is.
Yeah, my penalty was going to be like 40%. So give me a opposed dex versus her perception. So now it comes down to an opposed roll, and her perception was 11.
You said 11.
Yeah, so you'll come around the corner
she sees
and
me,
she'll.
Right?
Yeah, she'll like throw a look over her shoulder at some point while she's searching the town and see you and like stop and wave to you.
Rebecca, what's going on?
I'm looking for the guards. Why aren't you back in the town square? They're gonna need you.
I think they need you.
Okay, you find the guards. I'll go down. No, that's ridiculous. Your men are gonna need you. You just led everyone to battle. You're a better fighter than I am, I think.
All right. I get with no choice. I'll turn around and run back to the center of town.
Okay, she turns around and heads off in the other direction. Is this a feint? Are you like waiting for her to turn back, or do you actually head back to town?
No, I'll go back on.
All right.
Yeah.
That'll take about a round. In the meantime, the 2 guards that first arrived, one of them taken 8 damage and 13. The 2 guards will set themselves in the main, nice strong chokehold here. Put their shields up, covering each other, forming a little bit of a shield wall, while the first wave of goblins arrives. And with this first wave of goblins also comes Sail. Let's bring you onto the map, Sail. And tell me, how visible are you making yourself? Are you trying to hide from the White Prince's men, from these soldiers, or are you not afraid to show who you are?
I have been thinking about this for a couple of minutes. I think I'm literally, like, because I'm faster than goblins, I'm like literally at the head of them, and I will like just charge in.
Excellent. You're throwing down a bless, right? So there will be a wave of goblins in front of you who gets blessed hits, and then you'll be right there.
Yeah.
And bless affects how many goblins?
I think it's just an AoE. Let me double check. I would have liked to have done it like, I guess goblins are a bit undisciplined, so I would have been like, hey, before we go into town, let's all gather up and I'll quickly, I'll do this thing and then we go in. But it affects a 50-foot cube for 6 rounds. It takes 1 round to cast, which is why I like to do it for combat.
Yeah. So before they run into here, there could be a coordination, and all of these goblins then will be blessed, and then it's spread out afterwards, and they will arrive. Goblins have short little spears. These guys have nice, good thrusting spears with overlapped shields. So our goblins will begin the onslaught with a couple of basic attacks. Each of these are at +1. Not particularly good. And these soldiers will thrust back with their light spears. Whoops, wrong button. Also missing. For 1 round of combat over here. Nilram, you are trying to wave the soldiers past the town square as the people flee.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wave them past, and then after they go past, I want to begin casting fog cloud.
All right.
So the goal being, I probably hear where the fighting is or something.
Yeah, but there is still a mess. There are still civilians trying to flee.
Yeah.
It's too hard to micromanage 1,000
Which
tokens.
is perfect.
So,
So I'm gonna just throw like a fog cloud. I don't know, like over here, just kind of making it like hard for them to know where to go, where they're invading from.
Excellent. The guards will follow your commands through the sea of the people, completely bypassing this nice little channel here where the goblins are coming from. And they will make their way over here. While they do that, 2 other soldiers will show up, rounded up by the other guard that had went off towards the top end of town.
Am I able to cast my fog cloud?
Yes, you can get your fog cloud off. No problem.
Okay. 20-foot cube per caster level, so 4 20-foot cubes.
I'll give you cubes. cube. This is 20 feet.
Yeah,
Almost.
about. That's
One
good
more.
enough.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I get
Hold
4 of those.
by MrMouton. So 1,
Thank you.
2, 3, 4. You got those. Place them wherever you want.
Just throw 'em around there.
Excellent. And that is the same time, or around the same era as these guys at the top are showing up. Archie, what about you? Where have you gone? What have you done?
So I'm still with Captain Winters, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just running back into the square now where you are.
Okay.
The 2 of you will
so
be
I'm just
re-entering the
square.
square at the end of the round.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys will re-enter just at the same time that these guards come down from the top side, clearly looking for a battle and making their way around these tents.
Nilron will still be pointing to like where the other guards went, if they will go. But if they won't, then they can go through it.
They botch their checks. They will take Nilrum's directions and head this way, but they will pause for a little moment, like slowing themselves from a dead sprint to kind of a walk as they eye the mysterious fog that like blankets part of town, looking to you with curved heads. He goes, what's with the fog? What is it?
I don't know. By the light, I have no idea. A stare bless us. But I know that the goblins are that way. Let's go.
Bell goblin magic. We must get to the beach. And they begin to hurry off in that direction. That is the first round. Second round of combat. Where's my notes?
You can roll in.
You can roll initiative, yes.
Can we get group initiative? Is that fine for this big battle?
I think so. That's fine.
Take
So one of you roll a d10 for the party.
Oh,
I'll take the
5
5.
then.
5,
5, yeah.
Party goes at a 5. So you will start off the first round of combat then. Or second round of combat. What do you guys do? The 3 of you are in the town square. Most of the civilians have heard the word of goblins and have fled. This area is rapidly getting vacant. Just a couple of people who have changed their minds and are like, I'd run this way to the left, and are now like, no, wait, I actually want to go this way and run to the right.
I motion to Archie to come with me, and we're going to run through the fog down here.
I'm going to enlarge Archie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Archie gets a little bit bigger.
40%.
Mm-hmm.
And as I come through the fog here, I come out to this, I start shouting, hold the line! Hold the line! And I'll come up behind these 2 guards and just stab one of them in the back.
Go for it.
How's that? Back attack and surprise,
are
I
aware
assume.
of you. Yes, you get a +4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16. No shield.
Easy. The weapon slips right between the armor and the flesh.
You get a backstab?
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
They're aware of him, but they don't
The most
expect him to be
classic
attacking
backstab of all time, right?
Mhm.
No way, yeah.
Roll me. Are you at double damage right now?
Triple, I think, at level 5. I'll just check. I think it's ×3, is it not?
I think it is
Maybe that's
×3.
Level 6 might be. Backstab damage multiplier. Yeah, it's ×3. So 9 damage. This guy.
To the wounded one?
Yeah.
All right. The
Rip.
weapon will slide in and out of the guy's body. He will quickly slump to the ground. The guard next to him does not catch the source of this damage. It just gives like a shriek and a cry as the goblins begin to swarm, quickly coming over to stand on the body, surrounding this guy. Whew.
I can still attack, right? We're on the
Yes,
same
Yeah.
you can, and
Yeah.
Sail can also act.
Okay. Archie will run down here and like crack this guy in the head from up above.
You make your way through the fog, coming out on the other side, just with enough room to see this last soldier who is doing his very best to hold the line against these goblins.
Whoops,
You can
that's
get
That's
another.
initiative, yeah.
Okay.
9.
2 for
Back
back
attack?
attack, 1 for surprise, brings us to a 12.
No shield.
Right.
No dex.
No dex.
His back attack AC is 12. It is an exact hit.
All right. Remember enlarged damage for this as well.
5 times 0.4.
That is more than the 7 HP that this guard has, and so you crack him in the back. He drops like a sack of potatoes and is gone. The goblins around you give like a shrill cry and a screech of joy as they can then push on through. And I assume you just let them walk right past you?
No, I think if we've still got movements, I want to run back and say like, the goblins have broken through. Hold the line here.
I'll fist bump the captain.
See if any of these guards will come to defend and fight the goblins.
And Sail, are you coming up as well, or what are you doing here?
Here's a question. How heavy is a goblin, and could I throw one up on a roof?
Oh, a goblin probably weighs upwards of 60 to 80 pounds. So you could boost one, but not like lift and hurl, probably.
How tall are the buildings?
Pretty tall, right?
The eaves of their roofs are probably around 8 feet.
Are there any goblin archers around?
Oh, sorry.
There are.
I think I would like to start boosting goblin archers up onto the buildings, like to give them a huge tactical advantage.
Yeah. You sneaky snake, you. All right. I will mark some goblins because apparently their archer tokens are silly today.
I want to, with my weapon still drawn in, as I'm backing up saying like the goblins have broken through, I want to like wave my sword at the goblins and keep backing up into the center of the town here. I also want to look left and right to the houses, the windows in these houses in this square. I assume people are watching us.
Yeah, the town square is mostly shops and businesses. But if you were to go down to any of these other areas right outside of this market square, you could find civilians in their homes.
I'll yell out to the captain. Captain, the soldiers went this way, and I'll point like the actual way they went.
That's the goblin's
Just so he knows.
turn. It is the guard's turn, and on this round, 2 more soldiers will find their way here. They are coming from this left side of town, and they will burst out onto the scene, see the goblins, and yell for you guys to get some cover. We know what we're doing, and quickly like line up in another shield wall style effect to ready attacks against incoming goblins. Of the 4 that ran this way, let's see if they can notice anything. No, yes, and yes. So the last 2 will hear the shouts and the cries and turn around and make their way back towards the town square on this round. Doing one of these right around here. And let's roll initiative for the next round.
I don't think these goblins moved at all.
Yeah, they moved up
I
from
think they did.
much deeper.
Oh, they did. Okay.
yeah.
I'm not gonna be using any magic on these guys. I can't like really afford it. I think we might have to fight the Inquisitors, so I'm gonna save magic missiles for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to back up
Initiative.
to this. Okay, initiative.
Yeah.
Can Archie stick by me?
Sure.
Move this token, yeah. Just like, we'll hold this line here, I guess, for now.
Nilram will probably back up behind you.
Oh, sorry, that's a 7 now.
Guards will go first. I'll give the other two a chance to notice again. They finally notice, and it'll take them around to get back to here, and then it'll take them another round to get any further.
All right, cool. I think we can just wait this out now.
Mm-hmm. One more soldier will show up down this little hallway over here, make their way into the fog cloud. And
I'm gonna talk to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to. I'll whisper to Captain Archie. Let's not waste your enlarge. Let's go find guards who are straggling over, or like Rebecca. We know where she went. She's this way.
All right, let's go find her.
So we're gonna take our initiative to go off screen and go find Rebecca or more guards coming.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of let them handle all this.
Right. All right. So this one guy comes over here, makes an attack at those goblins, doesn't hit them, and the three of them will respond with spears with +1. That's a 16. Easy hit. And we'll do 8 points of damage to the guard, who is basically dead in one shot.
Nice.
The other guards are here. The party, you guys are going to disappear looking for reinforcing soldiers.
Yeah, reinforcing soldiers and Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
We want to catch people in like who are coming. Yeah.
Right. The goblin archers will move forward until they have. I'm gonna make some dex checks to. Well, it's only 5 feet. They can probably do it. Some strength checks.
Yeah.
They can. I'll give them.
5 feet. Usually let us do that, but they are small.
Yeah, but they're a little shorter than you, so I'm gonna give them a strength check at +2, to see if they can jump it. 2, 3, 4. So 2 of them will easily make it, no problem. The other 2 will get dex checks to catch themselves. 1, 2, and they will actually just fall to the ground and be stupid goblins. Because goblins are not the brightest.
True.
1d6 falling for one, 1d6 falling for the other. One will break his neck on the fall and be a dead goblin. The other will just take 2 points of damage. And the ones that make it over here can take some bow shots. The guys on the right side of the map. Woo-hoo! 1 hit.
15, yeah.
Or 1 point of damage.
Nice work.
Good job, goblins. Those ones have already attacked. Coming up through over here on the far left side, a whole troop will come up to the back of these soldiers, running, shrieking, cackling.
Damn, they're fucked.
Oh my god.
The soldiers are now will be shortly surrounded because the other goblins are going to be coming up through the front too. The goblins coming out of the fog will split. Some of them come over here.
What is Captain Winters thinking right now? Does he feel bad?
Yeah. Well, not so much the guards, but all the people in the houses. They're gonna get like raped and murdered and eaten.
Yeah. These 2 spears are at +1 each. Oh, and then these are at +3, 4, 5 each because there's a charge involved. 1, 2, so 19, 20. 20 is a crit, no problem. For 7 damage, and then the 19 is another 5. That is 12. That'll kill one of these. The other one will somehow ward off the blows. His armor taking most of the damage. Goblins. Dale, last round you helped goblins onto the roof. No, this round you helped goblins onto the roof.
No, that was last round.
That was last round?
that
What are you
last
doing
round?
this
That was
round?
last round.
Yeah.
I think, based on what I can see, I can't see through the fog, so I would probably proceed through the fog fairly carefully. So whatever that distance is.
Yeah, just taking your time to get through the fog, not wanting to run into any problems.
Yeah, and I would have been like looking for something, and then I come into the square and I see what's happening.
Are we able to find reinforcements or Rebecca?
I will make those rolls. There was also, you could have seen this guard as you came through this small section of fog right here. This guard.
If I did see him, I probably would have tried to like hit him in the back and just help things along.
Totally. Give me an attack roll. +3. Because he will kill it. He hears you. No, he does not hear you coming. +4. He is oblivious and fighting for it. Yeah, he dies. You skewer him in the back. The goblins give a cheer. They raise
would
their
like to,
spears to you.
Pull my rapier out of him and then like kick him over and be like, ah, like roar at the goblins and cheer with them.
Oh man. Well, the humans are deeply scattered and broken up all over the place. These two on this side might be able to hold for a little while. This guy's going to go down pretty quickly. On the far right, there are these two who are arriving to see those goblins. Let's roll initiative, because I think if they do poorly, they're going to just get themselves killed immediately.
You said you were going to roll for us to find...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you will run into a pack of 4 guards. Well, actually, you'll run into a pack of 2, and then you'll see another pack of 2 a little bit further away.
Let's just direct them behind us, and then we'll come behind them.
Yeah, we'll send them past.
Fights in the town square. Quickly.
Tell them to go in the right direction, and as soon as they walk past you, fuck them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get some initiative rolls real quick?
Well, we still haven't done anything this round. Don't know if it took all around to find those guys.
Yeah, it would have taken the whole round, because they are reinforcements who are a round or 2 out.
All right. We roll a 2.
Good.
These guards do win initiative against the goblins and will quickly come here. Whatever attack rolls they make is fine. They might even kill a pair of goblins, but they will quickly find themselves now surrounded by other goblins coming from behind them. This combat might be over quicker than I expected. I think we don't have to roleplay the rest of it, because the guards have, like, standard procedures for fending off goblins, holding choke points, forming shield walls, letting their bodies work together. But because they were so scattered and misdirected and intentionally thrown into the confusion, their formations are completely shattered. And I'm just going to roll a die for how many goblins the guards managed to kill before they die. And it's probably going to be on the order of like 2d8, maybe. 8 goblins in total will go down as these soldiers get ripped to pieces.
What about Rebecca and that? Do we find her?
Yeah, so these 2 guards you can let past you. There might be a small scuffle with these 2 and you guys. You will get surprise attacks on them, so go ahead and make your surprise attacks. And if they survive all that, then we will...
Back attack as well, yeah.
Back attack as well, yeah. Then we'll see if they can do any damage to you.
21.
21 is a hit.
12.
Dead.
12 will almost kill this one.
And my
Your offhand?
my dagger as well. Would I get the surprise on the dagger or not?
No.
No,
Nope.
this is-
And Archie, go ahead and make 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Damn, I'm rolling
with
like
the
shit today.
4, it'll be a 12. It'll still be a hit because he's surprised and it's back attack and all that jazz, and Zacy's only 12.
Less than large damage.
So it's going to be 7, and offhand is another hit. And at least 5 damage, so you will kill one.
And Nilrim get a attempt with a dagger.
Yeah.
All right, here's the attack with his bard's dagger that he killed the bard for.
Piece of shit, dirty bard.
18.
Will crit.
2, 4.
6 is exactly the guard's HP. So, yeah, you'll kill these guys before they can do anything. The goblins will very quickly overrun the town. As the 3 of you search, you will find Rebecca jogging back at some point. A single guardsman by herself, making her way back towards town, towards the center of town. She will see the 3 of you standing about, waiting, pause, and stare at Archie the Giant, who's now massive.
Nilrim will say, Nilrim will give her a wicked smile and say, fuck the White Prince. And he'll point for Archie to go kill her.
Yeah.
I'll go kill her.
She blinks in surprise. Archie, you and Rebecca. Let's do it. Roll me initiative.
Initiative.
Archie.
4.
That is much better than her 14.
We'll take the attack roll that I first rolled.
No, well, we can do it now.
Yeah, you
Do
roll
it
a new
now.
one.
Okay.
Roll a new one. Oh.
All right.
Same attack.
Second attack, though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God,
are you
Two
serious?
fists.
Stop rolling 4s. What's happened?
Rebecca brings her shield up, puts your fist to either side, and says under her breath, "I should have known better than to trust you. There was a stink about your story," and thrusts towards you with a 13.
Miss.
Not going to do it. And,
Neil, chat's freaking out. They can't see the rolls.
Oh, sorry. There we go. And we will initiative again, unless Sale, who is probably by now joined up with the rest of the party, having made their way through the fog.
Can Winters not get in there as well?
Yeah. Sale, Archie,
Yeah.
Sale, Winters, Nilram, you guys want to do anything?
All right, fine. Yeah.
I'd specifically like to call Rohi under my breath to let him know that we're killing a servant of a stair.
Yes. There's no
I'm gonna
outward symbol or like sign that he's been heard, but you know he listens for his voice and he
Does.
pays attention when called. So
He
even if
does
there's not
listen.
a symbol in the air, you know Nilram is watching. Not Nilram, Rohi is watching.
I'm gonna go get this round. I'm gonna go
Spoilers.
get Darkness's armor. Dreadness. I'm gonna get this.
Dreadness' armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you can make your
So-
way back to the house.
No
get
one
the
fucks
armor.
off. Yeah.
All right, I go first. Oh no, Archie goes first before. No, we roll 8.
I have an 8. Yeah.
Captain Winters, you go first. You bastard! We paid you!
Sorry, Rebecca. It's a pirate's life for me.
The attacks miss. Her shield defending her. Archie?
You can fight. You shouldn't have wasted this whole time running around these streets.
Ooh, redemption.
I say as she gets her head smashed against the wall.
2 damage rolls, yeah, and
yep.
then large damage.
Uh-huh.
Oh
So
my god, she's fucked.
3 and 5 is 8 times 1.5 is another
4, 1.4.
1.4. 1.4.
1.4. Oh, okay.
That's an extra 4, yeah.
Another 4 and 8 is
12.
12 and 3 is 15. It is one blow that will drop her to the negative HPs, bringing her down to -4. You want to tell me how it looks, Archie?
I smash her into the wall with like the fist way, leading into her chest, and it just kind of pops her against the wall and breaks her sternum.
Yeah, the plaster on the wall like cracks off and tumbles down. She gasps one last breath before it all slowly lets out in a long, hacking wheeze. You can hear the sounds of combat around you. The goblins breaking into buildings, pulling out all sorts of goods. You can hear the occasional shrieks and cries of innocent villagers nearby being overrun by the goblins.
After
madness.
Archie kills the...
Are there guards or like villagers watching right now?
You can see some villagers down the street fleeing in the moonlight.
Can
Are
I-
they fleeing to the docks? Oh, go ahead.
I want to try like another like public execution, because that like made us made a little bit of a name for ourselves. Do we have time for that?
Yeah.
So I
after
want
this.
to. I'm okay. Yeah, sure.
Who are we going to execute, though? Well,
She's already dead, but I kind of want to make a statement with it. You know.
once the battle is won, Neil, I want to walk down to the dock.
Well, yeah. I want to. First off, I want to bring out the armor, and I want to find Dreadness and have him instruct the goblins not to set anything on fire. We want to get the Inquisitor tomorrow, so we don't want them to come over tonight, and we need to make sure nobody flees and gets over in like rowboats or anything. So I want to make the group go to the docks as quickly as we can and see if we see anything.
Yeah, the party can head down to the dock.
All right, well, I mean, yeah, I wander out there. I just pull out I walk to this edge of this cliff here, pull out my spyglass and look across the strait.
Across the strait, you can see the much larger town sprawled out over there. There's only a few lights on in various homes. There is definitely light coming from your town where the fire is going, but it doesn't look like anyone's getting in any boats, and it doesn't look like anyone's necessarily moving anywhere. The other side of the strait is like 1.5 miles out, and the wind blows perpendicular to the strait, or parallel with the strait, perpendicular to the two towns lining up. So the sounds from this town don't really ever reach that one.
Good.
It looks like to them, all they're really seeing is a bonfire, and otherwise everything is lost in night.
We'll
I
round
put my
everybody up.
spyglass away, and I'm going to walk down to the end of the pier
Mm-hmm.
and try and pick the locks on the boat.
Sure. You have a bunch of time to do it, so go ahead and make me 3 lockpicking checks.
You said it was 2 It was 2 locks. No, maybe you said it was 3. Okay.
It was
I
3.
feel like it was 2, but I say to Nilram, like, if you want to keep the cook, you should go and get her before the goblins get to her. I'll work on this.
Yeah, I'll find Dreadness. I want to make sure that none of the goblins are going to burn anything down so we can get the Inquisitor tomorrow. I give him his armor. Does he agree?
To Dreadness, you give him his armor back and tell him.
Yeah, I give him his armor back, and I just want him not to burn everything down tonight. The goal, we want to get the Inquisitor, the big bad person who, you know, we have a cleric who can cast a spell of lightning. So when they come over tomorrow, they're going to kill them on the way. It's our best shot. So burn this whole town down tomorrow after we kill the Inquisitor.
You see here, we've already told my boys they can take whatever they want.
They
It's a little
can.
hard to find every single one of my boys lying around and tell them not to burn anything. Probably already too late. Should have decided on this before we came to town. Don't you know? The goblin in motion stays in motion.
All right, well, what's done is done. We can only wait and see what happens. Fires happen.
They certainly do, especially when you bring a torch to the party. Redness grumbles to himself, pleased. And on this line, soon enough, the town will begin to burn. The goblins hack apart anybody that comes across their way. They take everything and drag it into the streets and begin to split it up.
If this is happening...
I'm going to go and get the cook.
There's one other thing, though. We need to go back to our room and get our shit before that building goes on fire with all our gold and our drums.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm stuck doing the locks. So if I've like Archie is standing with me as I'm working on the locks and I start seeing fires going up, I'll say to him, Archie, quickly get back to the rooms and get our stuff.
Archie's gonna run back.
You can get back. You can get back to the house in time. There are some goblins standing around. You can find the 2 Monas are dead. One in the living room. One made it halfway into her bedroom before a goblin arrow hit her in the back. They're sprawled out. The goblins are going through some of the stuff. One of the goblins is in your room going through your stuff as if it's loot.
The door's wizard locked.
Oh, well, if it was in the... then he's going through Archie's room,
Okay,
looking
it's
at
probably in
Archie's stuff.
room, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You see a goblin, like, going through your belongings, Archie, looking at it as if it's his to loot.
What do I even have? Just a bunch of clothes? I don't really think...
The drums might be in your room.
Oh, the drums would be in my room, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to get
He's got these
those.
drums out and he's looking at them and, like, you know, he puts them down and then begins to, like, squat. Like, he turns the drums upside down and, like, it starts to use them as a chamber pot, squatting over them.
Oh,
ready
shit.
to-
You can't allow that.
Hey, little guy. That's mine. You're not touching that.
He makes direct eye contact with you as he squeezes harder and the veins begin to burst on his forehead.
Hey, I'm fucking punching this guy. What the fuck does he think he's doing?
Wait, the first rule is don't hurt any goblins, although I do support it in this case.
No, it's fine. It'll just be a dead goblin. This place is gonna burn down
it's
anyways.
fine,
Yeah.
it's fine. I was just saying that's the one thing that Archie understood was like, all right, don't punch goblins, but this guy's asking for it.
He does know the importance of the drums as a seaman.
Yeah.
I'm punching this guy.
Oh, yeah. The goblin goes sprawling. His relaxed body now opens the bells easily. You can pick up your stuff, no problem. But you go to the captain's door, and it's stuck. Like, really stuck.
God damn it.
I think when Nilram starts seeing stuff go up, he's gonna start heading over. But yeah, you can go ahead.
Are you going to the cook?
That's where I'm going. They're at the place, right?
No,
They're at
it's a
the-
different
they're at
place.
our-
They're at the restaurant.
Oh, if they're at the restaurant, I'm going to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yep. The restaurant, which also doubles as the home for the owner, you can make your way there and find that there are a pair of goblins pounding on the front door, and then like in mocking voices, taunting the insiders. You can't hear, you don't understand the words because they're in goblin, but they have that tone to them, sort of like smarky darky, goodbye. You know, that innate tone of.
I'm gonna give the goblins like a, hey, fuck on out of here. Big man's got shit to do. So I'm gonna kind of point him away. Say like,
give me a charisma check. Because they know that they're supposed to be listening to you, but are they really going to in the heat of the moment? Yeah, they're kind of, they lack discipline.
15.
They give you rude gestures and continue to like lurk around the house trying to find a way in.
Are they lurking around?
One of them stands at the door and continues to mock. One of them goes around the side of the building looking for a window that's loose.
I think back. My captain really wanted this cook.
No, I'm not bothered. Archie wants the cook.
1 magic missile, 2 of them to the 1 goblin. I kind of make it low key.
One at the front door.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 1.
2.
Oh, plus 2. 4 damage.
4 damage.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2. 4 damage.
Goblin with 3 hit points. Yep, goblin goes down.
That was lucky.
It's big. All right, I knock on the door. Hey, I'm here to save you. Come on. Norum says. I handled the goblin.
Calls a voice from the other side.
It's Nilrim, town savior.
The door quickly opens up, and the person gestures in, looking at the dead goblin. If you get in quickly before they find you.
How strong do they look?
It's the proprietor, who is
It's the old lady.
A middle-aged man with 2 + 1 + 3 strength, 6 strength.
Okay. Nilrim's just gonna grab him and say, "If you follow me, you'll live. Let's go." And he's gonna like push him.
He does. Yeah, he follows you quickly. Where
We're
are we
going to
going? Oh my God, there's so many goblins.
We're going to our boat. You'll be okay.
Okay.
Norum thinks to himself, Archie's gonna love me after this.
Yeah.
You can make your way to the boat. You'll find Captain Winters there, unlocking it or attempting to unlock it.
Well, I rolled my checks, Neil. I got 2 passes and a 68 versus a 65.
The last
I know there's
one,
a modifier depending on the quality of the lock.
No, it's a normal, ordinary lock quality.
Okay.
The last one just barely eludes you.
Is there any recourse here?
If you have unlimited time and quality lighting and stuff, I would allow you to get a bonus. But in the heat of the moment, trying to do it right now, no, sir.
But what's the heat of the moment? We got nothing to do. We're fine.
I'm just chilling. I'd take a break.
Yeah, sure. If you want to what I'm trying to say is if you have like hours and hours to work on it, then you can get a bonus and you can get it.
Okay, if I fail it the first time, I give up for a minute. I look behind me, I see the town's like fully on fire now. I'm gonna take the spyglass out again and check across the strait. See if I can see anything happening.
You can see people have come out of their buildings and are looking across this way, and that there are people on the docks as well. Lanterns have lit up.
No way to see if they're guards or the Inquisitor or anything like that from this angle.
It's quite dark.
I'll return with the cook to the captain. Captain, we kind of need to get out of here if they start coming over.
Well, how many goblins are left? Can we not fight them? The big prize. I mean, Norum, I gotta look in that treasury. There's about 300 gold left in there. 300 silver. There's nothing. If we want to make this worthwhile, we gotta kill that Inquisitor.
The man walking with Nilbrum goes, "Kill the Inquisitor? Oh my God, you're working with the goblins?"
Either you can stay with us and be our new cook, or, I'm sure I see some goblins, I'll point to them. You can go die by their hands. What will it
Fish
be?
and chips might have saved your life, sir.
But I'm not the cook.
I look at
Who are
Norum.
you?
He's not the cook?
I look at him. Who are you?
I'm Brophy. I'm one of the Brophy brothers.
Who's the cook?
Janet.
Where's she?
He like points across the town. She lives on the west side of town.
For fuck's sake.
You're taking me there. And we start heading over there. Captain, you need to watch this and come find me if anything crazy's going on.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here. Where's Sail?
Great question. Sail.
I would say I dragged Rebecca's corpse to the water and threw it in as a sacrifice, as a just to be like, here's the body to Rohi.
Can I have caught Sail on the way? Can I roll something to see if I caught him on the way?
You were off to there. Sail went over there.
I'd be
I'd
near
give you
the
a
docks probably.
Yeah, if you're drowning her. Makes sense.
60% chance?
Yeah, sure. 60% chance. Roll me a d100. 60 or lower.
I want low.
Want low?
Fuck.
Oh, yeah. There's no way.
Okay, that's fine.
There's no way at all. You toss Rebecca's body into the waves. And she floats for a moment before being like yoinked down as if by some sort of something. No bubbles come out. She's just gone.
Maybe if the Inquisitor comes over, Rohi will handle it.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
Archie, what are you doing about that locked captain's door?
Open doors check.
Do it.
He's
How do I
smashing
do
it
that
down.
again? I was looking for it.
The D20, right?
That's a d20. You want a 10 or less.
Yeah.
Not a problem. The door is not particularly well made, and you knock it off its hinges on the first kick to it. Inside, you can gather the captain's stuff. And soon, the party is gathered near the boats as one of the Brophy brothers tentatively begins to lead you through town looking for Janet, the cook's quarters.
Just Nilrim, right?
I think just Nilrim went, yeah. And he's going to let the guy know. He's going to show him a little bit of spell components and let him know that he's going to turn him into a toad if he does anything funny.
Yep, he's with you on this one. Let's see. Die roll to see if Janet's house has been destroyed or not. No, it is still standing. None of the goblins have made it this far. You quickly get outside of the goblins' reach in town. You can see there are people just fleeing to the west end of the island, just taking whatever little bits of precious they have with them and being gone. You'll enter the quiet part of town. You'll see doors open, shutters sort of lying open, dogs standing in the streets and barking. You'll make your way to Janet's abode.
Nilrim will poke him with his knife and whisper, get her out here.
Janet! Janet! Hurry outside! Janet! He says, stepping into the doorway and crying about. Luck is on your side today. You can hear a rattling on the inside of the building, and she steps out from behind a formerly locked door that would go to her bedroom and looks about, sees Brophy, runs over. Brophy, what's going on? The goblins! And then she looks, oh, thank God, it's one of the heroes. And then Brophy shakes his head at her and goes, no, not at all.
Come on, you're both coming with me.
She looks confused. Where's your brother? Where are the other men?
Dig the knife into Brophy's back.
Come on,
say,
Janet. He grumbles. Did you have something you were going to say too?
I was gonna whisper, yeah. If you know what's, or I was just gonna say, if you know what's good for you, Janet, you're gonna follow me, and everything's gonna be all right. That fish and chip you made my captain made him a very happy man.
She walks back with you, and as the goblin swarm reaches and passes you without bothering the three of you, it dawns on her what has happened. Her voice.
I give her a sick smile.
Does she have the cojones to stand up for herself and fight? She does. She pauses in the streets, puts her hands at her side, and goes, "No way! What are you, pirates? Monsters? Lords, servants of the goblins?"
I start to put the dagger into this guy's back. Is she really good? She might have the cojones, but is she gonna let this guy die? Because I have him as a prisoner right now.
That is going to be a willpower check at -4. No way. No way.
Oh my God, she's got no willpower.
She folds like a weak hand and follows quietly alongside. until the party's all gathered back at the boat, the town in flames, the goblins dragging out all the riches and the loots. The four of you can talk amongst yourselves. You've got Janet, the cook. You've got Brophy. Well,
We tie him
John
up.
Brophy.
We tie him up and we put him in the boat.
I try
Job
and
well done,
spend-
lads.
So far, hard bits yet to come. I hand sail the spyglass and point across the way.
I'll take a look and I'll see what you saw earlier.
Sail, do you think that you haven't asked much of your god? Do you think he could help us this one time?
Yeah, is he any good with lockpicks?
Either
I say
grant
as I
you,
start jimmying around the lock again.
either grant you your spell right now and then, or maybe when the Inquisitor starts coming over, he can just drag her below.
I'll ask. I'll go to the end of the dock, and I will stand at the water, and I will call Rohi and beseech him for aid in the form of a new spell or assistance should the Inquisitor come, because we are trying to kill a servant of Astaire.
At the end of the dock, by yourself, you call out. A pair of wide golden green eyes sort of illuminate the surface below the water, and slipping up the side of the dock is this purplish octopus looking tentacle thing, which makes its way up slowly enough that you have time to react if you wish, and then sort of like comes to your ankle and begins to wrap itself around you and like tugs you in the direction of the water. Gently at first.
Yeah. I'll just fall forward into the water.
Mhm. With a splash, sail disappears beneath the waves.
I think I'm working just near there on the lock, so I hear him splash, like turn around, see sail's gone, and there's like rippling in the water, and look back to the pate. What happened? I get an answer.
I'll say like, I told him to go talk to his god, see if he'll help us out.
God
Do you
damn,
want
I
to say
didn't
his
know
name, Captain?
that. Didn't know that meant he had to go down there.
I didn't either. Well, I look to the something brother. What are you good at? I pointed him with the bard's dagger. Make a plea for your life.
I can tend bar.
You see, where we live, we don't really have a bar. We don't really need a bartender. Can you make a good few drinks?
I can, and I know how to set up a bar. You're pirates, right? Every pirate loves booze. You keep me alive, and I can stock your. I can be a party every night.
Well then, you'll swear a blood oath to the gods that you won't harm us?
Puts a hand over his heart. By great Lord Astaire.
No. All the gods. And I hand him a dagger. Tell him to cut his hand and then put it over his heart.
He slices his hand, places the bloody strip over his nice white shirt. By all the gods, I swear to serve and tend bar for these pirates for as long as my life may live.
I nod.
Lets the hand sort of slide down the long red streak on his shirt.
And you? You make a mighty fine fish and chips. Will you make the same oath?
She looks to Don Brophy, nods, and makes the same oath.
Best. No one doesn't give a fuck about the gods too much, but he knows that everybody else does.
I want to scoot over to the edge of the pier and look into the water where Sail went.
A couple of bubbles appear, but not much else. Under the waves, though, a sail you are met by that same set of prying eyes that informs you, my dear and faithful servant, tonight you have done very well. I will grant you another power.
Based.
Bring your enemies to the sea, to the beach, the edge of a ship. All to me, channel my power, and I shall drag them beneath the waves. Mechanically, your granted power, which we've sort of dealt with already, but not really, danced around, will replace the classic cleric turn undead ability. It'll function much the same, but instead of turning undead, it will drag things into the water. It need not be undead, but it will only work next to the ocean, next to where Rohi can reach you. There
Super
will
cool.
still be some surprises in here. I'm going to start out with the power being pseudo-known like this, and then we'll reveal more about it as it comes along.
Cool.
But if you could take a look at the turn undead ability that clerics normally get in 2nd edition, and we'll follow a very similar hit die ruling. So the more powerful your enemy, the harder it is to channel Rohi to bring them into the water. The weaker it is, the more easy it is to bring them in. And you can affect a group or a number of creatures based on the die roll.
So I could probably like drown a fishing boat pretty easily.
Yeah.
Whereas, if I wanted to like try to drown a galleon, that's like impossible roll.
Probably impossible to affect the galleon, but like you lure some people onto a beach, or you're fighting some people on a beach, you might be able to get Rohi to like reach out of the water and drag some number of them back into it.
Yeah. It's pretty
So
cool.
That's
cool.
awesome. That's awesome. So like, let's say I'm on a boat. Can I just get Archie to start throwing people overboard and they just get drowned on him? Oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It is the only encounter power in the game. So you get it like once per battle, essentially, or once per encounter, which is not a firm object. Sometime like one encounter might drag on a lot, or there might have you could have 2 encounters 10 minutes apart, or you could have one encounter that lasts an hour. So it still only works once per encounter.
And is it specifically like saltwater and ocean? Like I couldn't do it at a lake.
Right.
Gotcha. Or a strait like this, where because obviously
This
it's
strait is
kind
part
of
of
a
the
river, but
ocean.
it's a strait. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. That is the coolest power ever. I will say, thank you, Rohi. It is a pleasure to serve someone so powerful and so clever and so helpful constantly. You are. Thank you for this power.
Seek and destroy the White Prince's men wherever possible. Disrupt his networks. Bring him low, and I will continue to grant you power.
I will bring him lower than the sea floor.
A pleasurable purring growl emits from the creature, and then your leg is freed, and a swarm of bubbles help lift you to the surface, breaching.
I guess I see him and help him back onto the pier. Sail! I reach an arm down. Where the fuck did you go?
Dock? Am I at the dock at this point?
Definitely.
Yeah, I just realized that Sail isn't actually dead and he's back, and I run towards him and hug him, and I'm super
Yeah.
Sail, you're alive! What did you, I thought the goblin, what happened?
I assume I'm coughing up a little bit of water, so I'm like, and I'm like, I was never dead, Archie. What? And I'll turn to Winners as I'm like getting up off the pier, soaked, and I'll be like, I think my god has our back should they try to cross.
All right, I hope so. I think they're getting ready. How long was he under the water for, Neil?
Maybe 2 minutes.
Okay.
An uncomfortable amount of time, but not an unreasonable amount.
Yeah. All right,
I
I'm.
should say, oh, I get it. You were never dead. You pretended to be dead for the goblins. Oh, that's
Oh.
so smart, Sail.
Thanks.
Nilrim is gonna,
I'll high five Archie.
I guess, like look out for people fleeing? Or does he see anybody like still like running around through the town? Any kids?
No, not at this point. Anyone who
Okay.
could have fled has either fled or died.
What's the fire?
should we
look like
wait
at this
here?
point?
Yeah, what's going on with the fire?
Many sections of the town are in flames. The main downtown area isn't yet. It's become a staging area where the goblins drag all the best loot from town. And as you gaze, one of the goblin translators skips forwards towards you and says, Dreadness wishes to speak with you. Come get your reward. Great allies of goblins.
All right, we'll go
Go
together.
back and tell Dreadness that we're waiting on the Inquisitor. We have to kill them first. We'll get a reward later tonight.
Yes. And the goblin skips out.
Captain,
Yeah.
I assume that they're going to come over soon. Can you check with your spyglass?
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on them now. Are they on ship yet?
No. It does not look like anyone
Not
is
yet.
getting in any boats yet.
Does it look like they're gathering men, or not?
There are a lot of people up. You can see with the torches and the lanterns that have been brought out that there are great crowds all along the coastline and on the dock in town across the street. But that's about it.
Not yet. I can't get this last fucking lock open.
So I have a rope trick ready. We could, if we see him start to get in boats, go up into the rope trick. They're going to have to land on this dock,
They could land on the beach.
or they could land on the beach, I guess. But we just need to be near here, I guess, for sale to be able to kill the Inquisitor, correct?
Yes, we just need to be near the water, and I should have a good chance at killing the Inquisitor.
Well,
Let's go and deal with the goblins now. We've got time. We'll get our reward and make sure we get the strongest ones of them to come and help us and fight here.
I'll hold up my hand and stop Captain Winters and I say, we should get him to meet us at the pier.
Loot's in the center of town.
Oh, all right then.
Just keep your eyes open. If we're gonna get double crossed, it's gonna be now.
Yep.
So, I guess
we'll go
we walk confidently as for.
find Dreadness, yeah.
Wait, what about the woman? We'll bring her with us too. The
I
two
think
prisoners.
they're tied up in the boat.
Can we just tie him up and put him in the bottom of the boat?
Okay.
Cool.
Can we lock them in?
Yeah.
Sure, like a padlock. We can lock them.
Yeah, normal... Oh, go ahead.
You can tie them to the structures there, but the
Okay,
boat doesn't
that's
really
fine,
have like
yeah.
a hatch, right? It's just got the deck.
I thought it does.
Yeah, I thought we kept the drums under the hatch.
Yeah, there's a hatch enough to fit at least a person, you said. Maybe two.
Yeah, not like room for people to go, but like room for like some small cargo that needs to be kept away from the wind.
Okay.
Or the water,
All right, let's go
I
and
should
deal
say.
with this now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, can we just bring these people then?
Yeah, bring them with us.
Yeah, all right,
It's
well.
part of our loot anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to tie them up, tie both their hands up in front of them like this, and then I'm going to hold two ropes and kind of drag them along.
Excellent. They will follow behind you. You will see in the middle of town, the goblins have gathered some prisoners, some good people to work for them or do whatever it is that goblins need prisoners for, as well as plenty of loot, barrels of wine and beer, nice fabrics, metal goods, some art objects, some really useless crap that the goblins seem to be infatuated with because of the bright colors across it. As well
alright,
as piles of cash loot. And there's
Walk up
Dreadness in his armor,
Yeah.
lording over all of it, standing on a balcony, watching the chaos unfold underneath.
Miller, how much did we agree? 40%? 30?
30. I think we get 30%.
All
I
right.
remember 30%.
I walk up to the center of the town and look up to Dreadness. Dreadness!
Ah!
A successful day for ourselves and goblin kind.
You've done well, my friends.
Yeah. And I believe we said 30%?
Mm-hmm.
We've got no need for the weapons and the fabrics. Perhaps we could just take coin, gold.
Redness looks out over his domain, over everything that is his now.
We have 2
Don't do it,
prisoners.
Koibu.
Balcony.
The goblins can be good too.
Redness gestures with his whip to a pile of loot and barks in Goblin to one of his translators or one of his minions, who goes over and begins to separate coins out and calls back to you. 30% is yours. You can take it from the gold. You can take 30% of the gold, silver, and copper.
Well, we don't want any of the weapons or fabrics or art objects. Perhaps we can take a little bit more of the coinage to compensate. Deal's a deal, Dreadness. Everything went according to plan. We fulfilled our end. It's up to you to do yours.
I'm in a generous mood. Yes, fine. Take 40% of the coins.
All right.
And he barks back
Thank you,
in Goblin
Dreadness.
to his person, who nods quickly and starts shoveling money over.
Dreadness.
Right.
We're gonna be out of here. I don't know, maybe today, tomorrow, depends. If we come back and we need to make our way here, which part of the island would you like us to come into?
I haven't decided where to make our new home. Is it here? In the woods? There's much to be decided.
I nod.
Don't rest yet, Dreadness. The Inquisitor and his men may still make land on this side of the strait. Send your strongest warriors to the pier and be ready.
You were going to deal with the Inquisitor. Was
We
that
will,
not
but
your end of the bargain?
If any of them should survive when they wash up.
We are going to deal with the Inquisitor. However, we would like your goblins for dealing with the random soldiers that come, so we may deal with him. It's been a successful night.
He bobs his head up and down in agreement. Calls out to a cluster of goblins, tells them to follow you, and they will do so.
Cool. Give him a nod. Good doing business with you. Perhaps we'll see you once again.
When we come back, is there a secret code phrase that can keep us safe that we could utter to your goblins?
Hail, Redness.
I nod. All right.
Oh, and Dreadness, one last thing. Any of your goblins good with locks?
No, we have no such need for objects like that in our land.
How do you-
Terror keeps our people in line.
How do you remove locks?
He points to someone who walks over and hands you an axe. Hack through the metal or wood.
He probably tries your old trick, Norm, just throwing off a cliff.
It's always worked. It's always opened things. I hand the axe to Archie. Archie can work on that.
All right, yeah. Let me take it to the dark. All right,
Dude.
Archie, see if you can break the chains.
Do you want any checks from me? What do I mean?
Give me one moment. Right.
was very
so the
successful,
chains are metal
boys.
and the lock is metal. Your axe is give me an open doors check. If you fail, then the axe is ruined and the lock can't be broken. And if you pass, then the axe is ruined and you manage to hack it apart.
All right, D20. I want 10 or below.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. You ruin the axe in the process, but eventually manage to hack at it enough until the lock breaks sufficiently to, jingle it open and release
Fuck
the
yeah.
boat.
Good job, Archie.
Redness is smart, I say to the other goblins.
All right, I check the spyglass again. In fact, I think now I'm just going to sit here and wait and watch out the spyglass.
As you guys stand on the edge of the dock and watch, goblins will drag chests over to you. At first, it's a couple of chests, and then it just becomes like miscellaneous boxes and bags. filled with coins, you will get 2,000 gold, 40,000 silver,
Whoa.
and 200,000 copper.
What
Let's
the fuck?
fucking go.
Holy
God
shit.
Damn.
So as
And
the
our
last
boat
bit of
carried
gold comes, I give Norm a look and, it says, all right, well done.
It pays to
How
kill,
much now?
Captain. It pays to kill.
How much silver now?
2,000 gold,
Okay.
40,000 silver, 200,000 copper.
We like legit can't hold all of that.
Our ship can, but yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
I'll
like
tell the goblins to put it on the ship. Like, I'll make them do that.
I mean, this is 5 tons of coins. 200,000 copper is like untransportable.
As I
Right.
see the chests being transported, and I go over to John, and I'm like, you know what? At first, I was pretty skeptical of this plan, but Captain, I'm glad you convinced us of this. It was a fantastic idea. I'm really, really happy, and
No more
That'd
cough.
be
John.
Thanks, Archie. Thanks, Archie. Yeah, what is it, Norm?
You know, this was my plan.
Yeah, you had the idea, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Our
it's John.
plan, Nelrum.
This is John's
I
plan,
agree,
right?
it
He's
was-
the captain, and
Ah, yeah,
he
that's
made
how I
it
remember.
right?
That's how I remember it.
It was our plan. I point to say, oh yeah, it was our plan. It was our plan.
It was definitely our plan. I was
Yeah.
fully on board.
Well, it was our plan as a party to do it, but since the
Yeah.
party is led by the captain,
The buck stops with me,
and
guys.
The
yeah,
buck
the
does stop with
captain,
you. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
the
Alright.
captain does make the decisions around here, so it was, John's plan, and we did
That's
it.
it.
So I think that was great.
Fine.
Wait, mechanically though, can we actually transport all of these copper coins, or are we gonna have to leave them?
Yes, there are sufficient boxes and bags and miscellaneous things to put them in, and your ship is capable of carrying. Tonnage 20 tons, and this is
Oh,
about
we're good.
4.5
Amazing.
tons. 2 tons,
Yeah, yeah,
I think.
okay, well, great.
We'll be a little low in the water, but we'll be good.
Is
Yeah,
there
we're good.
anybody coming on the other side?
Not tonight, it looks like. It's
I mean,
been
we
maybe
can-
an hour and a
we
half
could just-
since the
I
fight
think we should
began.
just leave.
Yeah, I think we should just leave. Fuck it. I mean, wait,
Yeah.
but the papers.
We can get that somewhere else easily.
Yeah,
Again,
this is-
I think the best way to get a ship is just to go on the shipping channels from Arcadia to here, and then we get a ship that way.
We can probably buy one now.
Well, maybe.
We can pay off Nightingale with this.
Wait, really?
Maybe. How much did we owe her?
Hundreds.
Sure.
It was like
We
I
can-
thought
tens
it was
of
like
thousands to
10k,
100,000
10k gold.
Oh, was it 10,000 gold? Well, 200,000 copper is 2,000 gold.
How much did we owe Nightingale? Didn't we owe her like 100,000 gold?
We paid her off a good bit, I thought, like maybe 10% of what we owed her.
We paid her a little bit.
I mean, we've got almost 10,000 gold now.
Jesus Christ.
It's a fucking lot.
We kind of need to kill the Inquisitor. We said that we would to the goblins.
Yeah.
I say. No one will say, we need to do this. We have your God's blessing. He's going to help us out. You promise? Like, he's really got us on this?
Yeah, if we can get them near the water.
Okay, the Inquisitor's
think-
going to come over tomorrow to see what the fuck happened. At the bare minimum, let's just rest here and let's figure it out.
Maybe we could make a show on the docks that might entice them in some way. Maybe people crying for help, for boats to come over.
Let's move the ship first so they don't immediately know to expect us and so it doesn't get fucking sunk in the process. We'll coin on it.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll get on the ship. We'll sail it.
On the coast a bit.
I'll tell a goblin nearby us the rough plan just so Dreadnought knows.
Well, why don't we take our second break right here, and when we come back, we will come to the morning and see what else will happen. So, see you guys on the other side of our break.
Right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. The town
All right.
burns in the background as the party decides what to do, where to go.
Alright.
Wait until morning.
Nilrim, sail. Try and get some sleep. We'll keep me and Archie keep watch.
No, I'm not.
I'll find like the nearest completely undamaged building and ask some goblins to set guard for me. And awake me if anyone comes from across the street.
We're going to keep that troop of goblins. How many did he give us? 8?
I think he gave you like 20.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're going to keep those 20 and... Yeah. I guess, try to sleep it off.
Mhm.
Hopefully he comes in the morning and we kill him. We're gonna keep the boat here if
Yep.
they agree, because I think it's suspicious if we move it.
I'm just
You
worried
don't
about
want the
getting
boat
sunk
in
in
the
the
harbor.
fight. No, he's saying leave it in the harbor.
Okay.
I'm saying we leave it exactly where they left it, because then they'll think like we died too, along with the goblins. I don't think
Yeah,
they're gonna.
So
we're
it
gonna
stays.
fight them or kill them. They're all dead or we're dead, right? So it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I know, but then they'll. I think they'll be expecting something bigger because they know we're magic users, right? So I'm saying we leave it here. We get Sail to cast this thing, and hopefully we just get him in the meantime, if that makes sense.
But I'm also pretty
Alright.
sure there's actually almost no witnesses to us helping the goblins aside from like the cook
People
and
on
the
this side,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Alright, if the boat gets sunk, I suppose we can at least try and dive down for the treasure, I suppose.
If the boat gets sunk, it would be bad. It's your call. You're the captain, so
I mean, I think it's safer to move it because I think the advantage is quite nebulous.
Okay, let's move it.
Yeah.
We move the
Oh.
boat and then sail in normal sleep.
Somewhere where I can keep an eye on it though with the spyglass.
Morning comes. Looking across the way, you can see the other town is bristling with soldiery. Whoever is an employed guard for that town must be out and about near the coast, setting watch, keeping eyes out. You can see some sort of figure with like highly reflective metal armor, definitely not an ordinary guard, standing on the dock with a spyglass looking this way.
Do you have a
In-
helmet on?
No helmet. The port over there has a few boats in it, but fewer boats than were there yesterday. It looks like people who could take sail have taken sail and left.
Okay.
One of the large cargo ships there is currently being loaded up with goods and passengers. Watches are set, but it doesn't look like anyone is mounting a rescue. At least not this morning, not at this time.
Okay, once the spellcasters come back, I'll wake Archie up from his watch, and I'll say, they've sent men away. They've sent a cargo ship with a lot of people away somewhere else. They might be looking for reinforcements.
I nod.
Maybe we
I
just
don't-
leave.
I nod. I don't think they're just gonna come over here, I guess. We could wait a little bit, see if they're foolish enough to, but it seems like it might just be time for us to get out of here.
if we're feeling confident, we could maybe try to catch a cargo ship as it leaves.
Again,
could do.
we can't haul any of the stuff on it, really. I mean, we can catch a cargo ship if you guys want, but I think we just take our spoils and run.
Yeah, I've got no loyalty. Got no loyalty to these goblins. I say we just hightail.
And we just sail
Fine.
turnward back home.
We can find another Inquisitor to kill. We've made enough here.
I'll talk to the goblins. I'll let them know. Tell them the Inquisitor never came. We're not going to go on a suicide mission. Tell Dreadness that and go to the other land to kill him. Our deal's done. They got to sack the town, and the Inquisitor didn't bother them at all.
I'd also like to give the goblins or Dreadness some advice. Like, if they do come, and it might be a good idea to make a show of like being peaceful and amenable, because otherwise the White Prince might bring a huge army and just wipe you out for as a matter of course. And that this was retribution because, you know, some adventurers came and stirred up trouble.
Yeah. Go back to being amenable. Say that it was because of us.
I didn't
Sayonara.
quite follow that. What do you mean say it was because of us?
Say it was because we killed goblins on the coast. So
That's
they
why
had to
the-
make a show.
We
Yeah.
started the fight and the town
Yeah.
hired us to do it. So this was retribution because the town broke the peace.
Got it.
Yeah. And we get up and I guess we sail off.
Yeah.
Where to? It's
Home.
a big wide world out there.
We got too much gold. We need to drop it off.
We're gonna go home.
You're carrying. You got 2 tons of gold or wealth, plus your own bodies and gear, plus a couple tons of supplies. Your boat's not even half full.
You're not going to talk us out of it. We got to go home.
But I spent so much time making maps down here of islands.
We'll
for you to
come
play
back.
with.
We'll come
Okay,
back.
It's fine.
I think we go back. We might even come back straight away and check out what's
Yeah,
going on.
we'll
It'll
come
been a
back pretty
few weeks.
quickly. Nilrim, he's gonna get insight, and he's gonna be able to make a new spell that'll help the party.
Oh, that's true. That's one of the big reasons you want to go home, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we set back home. If we do run into any ships, though, I'm feeling frisky.
Mm.
Especially with call lightning, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are once again 2 routes you can take. You can island hop, which is longer but more sure, or you can try to cut the distance, shrinking the amount of travel time, but a bad navigation check will put you on the wrong side and overshoot.
I mean, we
your
go
distance.
for it, right? We go for the shortcut.
We always go over the shortcut because Nilrim's the greatest navigator alive.
Yeah. Got bad,
What do you
a
want?
good chance of.
I want
Awesome.
a navigation check. I think the first
I'll only
time
be able to
you-
help you on day 2.
Yeah.
What's up?
The first
I'll only
time
be
we.
able to. Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. No.
I'll only be able to help you with your navigation check on day 2 because I have to rest and refit
that's
my
okay.
spells.
What were you gonna say, Koibu?
The first time you did this crossing, there was a penalty involved because you've never really done a crossing like this, and we negated it via the help with
Yeah.
sail. You've done this once, so we will allow you, with sail's help, you can make your check at +1.
Okay, well, here it is. 20.
20 is 1 shy. He is indeed a failure.
Oh my God, you got a 3.
Yeah, you know.
Greatest navigator alive, by the way.
It's unlucky.
We should have detected magic in the pile of shit.
Oh, true.
True.
We turned the ship around.
Can we get +1 for Luckstone now?
We don't have one.
Don't give it away, you might have not realised.
I'm a fair player.
Yeah, what about
You
high
think I
ground?
am. Captain John realizes that part of this battle has damaged his psyche. He has a hard time getting it up and moving.
That's outside of your power now.
Is it? We can argue about it, but dark path. Okay.
Enough.
Days later, the party.
Way down south.
Keep in mind, we don't miss it that much, right? We're
Yeah,
pretty
you will
close.
overshoot the distance and end up near Summerland when you
That's not bad.
come out of your spiral.
Sorry, Captain, I overshot it.
How far away are we?
Just a few islands. 2.
Yeah, alright, well.
But you are right next to Kolrogia, where there should be some somethings waiting for you, buried in the dirt.
Wait. What was that?
Oh, that's right. We instructed them to bring all of their healing salves back. If you remember the guy on the donkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's,
Should we just
well,
dig it up?
if we're there, let's check it out, yeah.
We'll go and dig it up.
Alright, pull him in.
Another
Kolharin,
half
sorry.
day out to Kolrogia, circling around the backside and finding the spot where you docked your ship before, ran your ship aground, looking
Yeah.
for the treasure
Free.
that should have been buried for you here. Captain, you were
Yes.
the one who gave him the directions on where exactly to bury it. You remember?
I think it was Nilrim who did that.
Oh, was it Nilrim? Okay, Nilrim.
pretty
do you
sure-
remember exactly?
Because
where
I
it was
wanted to do an
buried?
int check, right?
Huh?
Do you want an int check?
I do, yeah.
33.
You know exactly where you put it. You mark the spaces and go take a look. Sure enough, after digging down, your hands dig in the soft sand and come across a burlap bag.
Amazing. We open it up.
Yeah.
Is this what I think it is, Norum?
I'll hand it to the captain without looking at it. Here you go.
Nice. I open it up and look inside. There's an Aramvarax. It attacks you.
It's a minuscule rust monster.
No! Don't, it's not a rust monster.
Opening up the bag, you can pull out 6 healing salves
Right,
and
yeah, that's my
a
character
note
sheet.
from Captain Starbuck that says, "I'm a man of my word. If I say something, I'll do it. Here's your healing salves."
Base.
Alright, I was hoping for more than 6, but I'll take 6. We now
Load
have
up and
15.
Oh, I would like to specify that the captives are blindfolded.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyone need a new solve?
I could use a new one.
I
Yeah.
want to hold another one. Let me hold another one.
Okay. I give one to each of you. So Archie, you okay?
I think I'm good. I'll take one more.
Alright. We've got 12 in reserve.
Yep.
Alright. Back on the ship, let's go. There's trouble waiting for us on this island. Let's fuck off.
We head home.
Picking up your supplies, you travel back to 2 days to get back to White Sands. You will, sorry, not White Sands, to
Watson.
Port Ferris.
Port Ferris.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you will arrive somewhere on Monday the 9th September.
Okay. Nilrim, we do the fog cloud trick. I do reveal.
Yeah, as we pull into the harbor, I'll take the blindfolds off the 2 prisoners. Alright, you two.
Oh yeah, okay.
We're here. Welcome to your new home.
They look around the empty, quiet underground base with the semi-transparent wall, the huge docking area, your little ship.
You might have heard a few moments ago my arcane friend over here casting a spell. There's an invisible barrier blocking every exit from this place, so don't get any fancy ideas about trying to make a run for it. Even if you could get a ship and sail somewhere away from here, you'll never get past these invisible barriers. So don't try it. You'll just end up getting on our shit list and getting yourself stabbed the next time we're back here.
I'll
The
scream
prisoners
out.
swallow, and
Nilrim screams out, Oh, go ahead, sir.
Janet asks, I heard the splashing of dozens of oars, yet there's only 4 of you. Did you... How?
That's for us to know,
I'll pat
and
Archie
you to
on the
maybe
back,
find out.
and I'll be like, he's a very strong man.
We can't trust you yet. Keep to your word. You know, perform
Keep to
good service,
your
and
oaths.
we'll tell you one day.
You'll be crew members soon enough. Speaking of a crew member, Nilrim screams for Bobby and
Yep.
Are we gonna make him unload the boat single-handedly?
no, he's got 2 helpers now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
What
true.
do you mean?
That's a good point. All right, I'll get off the boat. Bobby, get over here.
Yep. You can hear the tap, tap, tap of the peg leg walking through the hall, and soon Bobby and Wiley have arrived, and they take a look at this. Wiley puts his hand, one good hand in the air, and his knife-cutting hand in the air as well, and says, "Ah, there's fresh meat. Bobby, get the stew pot ready. I've got a hankering for brains tonight." And Bobby, being the bit of a fool that he is, starts to walk back in the direction of the kitchen while Wiley grabs him with a good hand and shoves him towards the boat roughly.
Bobby,
stumbles
you
in your
too as
direction.
well. Help load everything off the boat. Get it into the mess hall.
I look at both of them. This is Bobby. He is second in charge after I point to Wiley. You gotta listen to both of them. He has a big responsibility, Bobby. Thanks for joining second.
Yeah, it looks like you
Give a
got
nod.
promoted, Bobby.
You got promoted.
From that.
Gentle smile quickly widens into a wide grin as Bobby kicks the cook. Says, "Hey, get that box. Pick it up. Post haste. Huh? Like a real sailor now."
I kick Bobby and I tell him to go get his shit too.
He grabs the box as well.
Don't
I'll
forget the chain of command.
I'll
Archie's
wonder.
so proud.
I'll wonder aloud. Does Bobby get a cut yet of the loot?
Does he fuck?
I laugh.
Archie will break out in laughter at this hilarious joke that you just made.
That being said, though, I do suppose they deserve some wages. I will go and give. God, how long have we been gone for now? Like 2 weeks?
A little more than that, but yeah.
I will
25 days.
give 30 silver to Bobby. And like 50 silver to Wiley.
50 silver to Wiley.
Yeah,
I think we
was it
should
to
also.
Bobby?
30.
30. To be fair, they don't really need money yet.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean,
like,
if they have, if
but
we
yeah.
have a die or they have
It's a
gal,
token,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if there's things, well, people like to be paid too. But if there's stuff they want us to buy while we're out, we can be like, okay, that'll come out of your 50 silver
Yeah.
wages or whatever.
I'll talk to the captain. I think each member of our crew, I do in quotations, should be able to buy their way out of here. I point to like Bobby and the 2 other people. How about we make it 10,000 gold for their lives, and they'll earn, I don't know, we can figure out the ratio. But basically, if they work for us for like 10 years, they can choose to leave, or they can keep the money. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense, Norum, but do you not think they know a bit too much to be let loose on the world at this point?
I nod. I think that they will choose to stay with us. To be
Perhaps.
honest.
We'll talk about it in 10 years.
The
Maybe,
prospect of freedom is an
let's make it.
important one.
Let's make it 20 years. That way that they actually have a prospect of freedom. You know, I think that's important.
Oh yeah, you can tell them the good news.
Archie's starting to get like
Yeah, bad vibes.
bad vibes because this is how he ended up in
Yeah.
servitude. He's not going to say anything yet, but it's on his mind.
He'll tell them the good news. They'll get 1,000 gold a year. We'll put it away, and then after 10 years, they can either choose to keep the 1,000 gold or keep the 10,000 gold and become pirates with them, or
10,000 gold is like an insane amount of money.
fine.
For
Let's
wages.
make it 1,000 gold, and they'll get 100 gold a year.
Yeah, that sounds.
They can either choose to keep the 100 gold or the 1,000 gold and stay with us, or they can leave.
Ropey,
But we get
the
10 years.
excellent businessman, does some quick math and goes, so that's 8.3 gold a month, right? But he says this loudly enough that Captain Wiley's in range, and he drops his box and like whirls on his peg leg and stalks back over here and goes, 8.3 gold a month? I only got paid 50 silver, and you're offering this landlubber twice that, huh?
Don't worry, he's not going to get it every month. He'll get it once his time's over. And we went gone for a whole month, Wiley. You get more than that.
Wiley, they either join us and get to leave, but they get nothing. Or sorry, they either leave and get nothing, or they join us and we'll give them, a small cut of the fortunes.
Anyway, none of you are leaving here anytime soon. So let's worry about this in a few years' time. For now, you need to learn your duties. You need to get used to what's going on around here. If I see you talking back to me, if you're not doing your job correctly, the only way you're getting out of this place is if you're tied to a rock and thrown to the bottom of the sea.
I pull
It goes
piece
for
of hair.
everyone apart from you, Wiley. You're not
Yeah,
a prisoner here.
I pull a piece of hair out from both of their heads, and I think Bobby's, and I'm gonna put them in a little jar, cork it, and say like, if you ever leave, this is how I'm going to track you, and I will hunt you down.
All right, let's get you some rooms, and Bobby, show them some rooms.
As rooms get settled and money gets pulled out of the hold and supplies get moved, and Wiley sets Bobby to refilling the water on the boat and all these things, Wiley tries to get the 4 of you off into a little corner to chat with him for a moment. Listen, lads, you've been doing very well. Look at the wealth you brought back. It's quite magnificent. Brings tears to this old man, this old pirate's heart to know that someone's out there still carrying on the legacy, even if I'm stuck with this chopping knife for a hand and this piece of shit wood for an ankle.
As far as I remember, Wiley, you managed to use that knife quite well.
Well, I'm getting on in the years, and I'm not fooling myself. I ain't no spring chicken. I know my better days are behind me, and I'm happy to play the bystander and cheerleader these days. But I do have a request.
Of course. Let's hear it.
It's been almost a month on this island, in this fortress. Well, when you're all gone, Bobby and I are stuck indoors. There ain't no one else out there. There ain't nowhere else for us to go. It'd be mighty nice if we could stretch our legs and get out every now and then again. Is there some way of getting in and out of here safely?
Not
Where
while
we
we're
don't get
gone.
stuck?
But we'll be here for a week or so. Nilram will open the door for you a couple of times, so you can.
Well, I try to
stretch your
think.
legs.
I think that there is actually like a rooftop, right? That they can enter freely, or no?
Nope. It's all sealed
Okay,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
the
I
answer
think-
is no,
Well-
but I'll take you guys out right now.
Oh, I mean, look, I don't want to be a dog taken out for walks. You know, it's not a good feeling, captains. However, maybe just putting an idea out into the wind and seeing if it catches a sail. Maybe you could get yourself one of them fancy their apprentices who could hang out round parts and make it might easier for us to come and go. You know, that way we could get some fresh fish, food from the island, fresh veg. You know, when you're gone, it's just salted meat and potatoes for a month.
Would be nice.
I know.
Yeah.
What do
I'll-
you
Inquisitors
think?
capture some
Could we-
kids every now and then, take them away. There's probably a place out there somewhere where there's a whole bunch of raw recruits.
I understand. Magic's a little bit hard, okay? I'd have to buy him a spell book, and I point to the spell book. I believe this one costed 10,000 gold.
10,000 gold for a
These are
book?
not. It's no ordinary book.
Fuck,
Captain.
are we doing
There's a
messing around
reason.
with goblins?
There's a
Where
reason
can we
this was
find
the
more of
only
these things?
thing I was clutching when we washed up on the shore.
I'm sure. But
I will work on it. Your words are not falling on deaf ears.
Maybe as a temporary reprieve, we could send you and Wiley, or you and Bobby over on a small skiff for a week, and then you come back.
sure
No.
love some land time. I mean, not land time, but city time. There's I mean, Bobby looks pretty good when you put a skirt on him, but it's not quite the same. You know, he doesn't move his hips quite. I still gotta train him to do the dancing right. I'd love to make myself to a bar where there's some proper ladies.
Well, I tell you
know,
what,
Oh,
Wiley.
we have a bartender.
I tell you what, Wiley.
We
A
don't
few
have any
islands over from
dances.
here, there's some sort of vacation island where all the rich and famous of the Dardanelles go to holiday. You know the place I'm talking about?
Of course I do.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think we can show our faces around there. But then again, you've got a nice tongue on you. You know, you can talk the talk. What do you guys
They
think
all
about?
say.
We drop Wiley and Bobby off there for a few days. Maybe Wiley, while you're there, you could speak to some of the local dignitaries and maybe come up with some leads for us and enjoy yourself at the same time. Just don't cause
It'll
any
be a
trouble.
work mission, though.
Of course. Of course.
Means
I would
expenses.
be- Oh, thank you. Thank you, captains. Thank you, wizard
yeah,
boys
see-
and stuff.
A nod. All right, let's leave him there for a week.
Well, okay. We'll go. We'll go tomorrow or the day after or something.
Can you guys go? And I need to research.
Yeah, that's fine. We can go.
Okay.
Wiley, take a walk with me for a minute.
Aye, lad. And he clacks by your side.
Listen, I know you're just you're happy and you're just talking, but remember, there's only one captain in the crew here. I won't have you referring to any of the other three as captain.
Of course, son. Of course. I
Good luck.
just seen you two fighting over the captain's quarters, and
I know. Well, wizards, they need a lot of space. I'm used to sleeping in ship cabins anyway.
yeah. Speaking of which, like you guys could use a ship with some more coverage. You've been you're lucky so far not to run into any big storms, get yourself or your gear washed out overboard. But
Yeah, I know.
we're heading on into the autumn months now, and the autumn storms are going to be coming through this area. Dardanelles
it's
is
too-
not so
it was-
bad during the summer. During the winter, though, whew. Stair isn't here to bless the lands with his light. The weather turns might bit foul. Might do to have a sturdier, larger ship with some proper cover.
Well, you talked about these shipyards where they make them. We did think about trying to steal one from there, but the real problem we're running into is we can't dock anywhere in this fucking place because the Inquisitor's going to check the records and work out that this ship was stolen. The ones that they get made out of the dockyard, are they already inscribed with papers and numbers? Or does that happen somewhere else?
They make up the papers in the dockyards. Usually not till ships are done, since the papers come with a complete description of the ship in all possible ways, and yada yada. Ship orders sometimes change during the bit. Papers are often the last thing to be done. Wait till the whole ship is built.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Bobby. Wiley, we'll be eating dinner later tonight. We've got a cook here, so I'll see you later.
You wounded me. I don't know if I'll recover from that one.
I'm sorry.
You go ahead. I need to catch my breath. And he just sits against the wall like, oh, God.
So I think we need to have a conversation that night about something I've been thinking about, because even if we get a new ship with new number and new papers, it only takes us doing something crazy on one island for that number to be blacklisted, and then we're back in the same situation we were before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's not really going to work, right?
No, but Nilrim will tell you about his spell, which he thinks will negate this problem.
How so?
Basically, I'm going to be able to take ships and put them in a bottle. I know this sounds crazy, but anytime we go on an island, we can kind of just go about the town, just say our ship's one of those, you know? And nobody will be none the wiser. It'll completely get rid of the issue of docking.
You'll be able to do it just like that, real quick, like?
We'll need to park on a side of the island where we'll need to park, and then I will need 1 to 5 hours for us to be able to put the ship in the bottle. Yeah. Depending on how fast you guys can load and unload.
So then we're just worried about someone asking us what ship we're on and getting suspicious, right? Okay.
But that doesn't really happen. They might ask you where you're from, but nobody besides the guards will ask you which ship is yours, you know?
Yeah.
So if we're in a bar, in a tavern, it shouldn't be an issue.
And you say you're researching this spell now?
Yeah, in my quarters.
All right, well, Archie, Sale, you guys fancy a trip out? We'll take Bobby and Wiley to Vacation Island.
Sounds amazing, Captain.
Sounds like a good plan.
Captain, is it
one
possible?
worry is... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Is it possible that we could leave one person here, either Archie or Sale? I just don't want to get hurt.
Shanked
by
in your
those
sleep.
two. Yeah, shanked in my sleep, you know?
That was my exact concern as well.
Yeah.
You think we can sail the ship? Just the two of us, Archie?
Like old times, Captain.
All right, yeah. And I think back to our trip to Vacation Island. Didn't Archie and I get in any trouble? I feel like maybe the two of us can return safely enough. So maybe we can have a little vacation.
But you're not going to be able to because, Captain, there's flyers out for our arrest the whole time.
Fuck! You're right. Fine, we'll just drop them off.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go in the morning. Bobby, Wiley, get your shit together. Be ready to go in the morning. We'll drop you off and we'll come back a week later.
Aye, thank you, lad. It'll be a pleasure to stretch my legs. I'll wrap my arms around some sort of sea wench out there. Maybe Bobby can, kick his knickers once in his life.
Give him 100 gold, Captain. Let him go wild.
Nilrim. I'm not... No one's getting 100 gold. Even Nilrim. Even you wouldn't get 100 gold. I'll give you money, though, while you're out there for expenses.
Wiley pats Bobby on the back. Bobby winces reflexively from, his time alone with Wiley. Like, I'll show you the world, Bobby. You've been a good mate till now. We'll get you... Well, you've been a good deckhand. We'll turn you into a proper mate. Get you mated somewhere. Winces again. And,
Come back a man, Bobby.
Can rest and relax.
Yeah.
And you can take them out to the island. Let me just do some quick encounter checks. Make sure nothing goes on.
Yeah.
So Sail and Nilram are staying behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worst case, they die and Norm becomes, or Norm or Sale becomes the captain.
Yeah, because it's spellcast apparently.
Yep.
While they're gone, I'm gonna have these people. I assume Bobby's done a pretty good job, but it always needs having other eyes look around and see stuff is always better than one. So I'm gonna have them go around Dust. I'm gonna have him set up the bar. I'm gonna have her fix the kitchen up. Make it a home.
Yeah. You've already
And,
got some supplies, and so they can start using these to properly furnish the place and add some touches of home decor and get the place a little bit better, a little bit more livable.
What are their names again?
Janet is the cook, and John Brophy is the bartender.
So him being a Brophy is weird. I'll talk to him. Are you a noble? You have a last name.
Minor noble, my lord. Family kept the name, lost our lands, kept just enough money to invest in my business. And my brother and I, well, we used to run the business together.
Until? He says with a smile.
Until one day this madman landed his boat on the wrong dock.
Oh, come on now, John. We're gonna be good friends. You swore an oath, and I hope, by the gods, that you intend to keep it.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Why don't you and Janet come with me, and I'll show you to your quarters.
They do.
He'll take him to, I don't know, this room, and we'll stack 4 people to a room. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna put J and J for John and Janet, and they can stay in there.
They
And
share
then,
a room.
Yeah, I think we're kind of running out of single rooms, so.
Oh, okay.
Unless they complain. Were these bigger rooms over here like dorms?
Mm-hmm. Once upon a time, they were dorms. You can do whatever you want with the rooms right now since they came sort of unfurnished.
I'll throw them in there then, since. Yeah, so we'll have them both in there.
Yeah, that's like the lowest ranking room, and maybe if
Yeah.
they're good, they might get like one of the nicer bedrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. On the way back, assuming we get back, I'm going to pick up some fresh fish from that trading island or archipelago that we went to.
Excellent. Janet. And Sophie. You want to pick up fish? Is this like a mechanical you're resupplying or a flavor text of?
A bit of a resupply, but also just getting some fish and potatoes so she can make fish and chips.
Right.
Also, need to have a little conversation with Bobby in the morning before we leave. Bobby, no, I think I can trust you. I don't have anything to worry about, do I, leaving you out there on that island for a week?
He shakes his head.
I hope so.
What do you mean? What sort of trouble?
You're not gonna go tell anyone about this place or tell them what happened to you or where you came from, anything like that. You're in our crew now, so I expect you to keep stum.
His head bobbies up and down.
While he might look drunk. The man's been drinking his whole life. He's never wasted. He'll be keeping one eye on you, so I'll know.
Of course, Captain.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Enjoy yourself. We'll go soon.
Okay.
All right, and then me and Archie head off. Archie, to be back on the sea, just the two of us without those two spellcasting idiots trying to tell us what to do all the time. This is what it's meant to be like, you know.
A simpler time, Captain. A simpler time.
You
Had
know,
a race row for you.
if it hadn't been for that storm, we'd have been kicking our feet up in Solemn right now, living like kings. You and me.
Well, we do almost have enough money to live like kings now, don't we?
Almost, yeah. Not as much as that ship was worth, though. That was a fortune of a lifetime.
Wow, yeah. Maybe we'll get a ship like that again sometime, Captain.
Maybe. I ain't even seen it. I doubt even the White Prince has got a ship that good. Thing was exquisite. Finest Arcadian engineering. Just a shame about the
Pleasure.
gods. It was.
Pleasure to even row, but could you imagine what we could have done with these drums?
Yeah. No, that would have been something else. We could have, instead of having 50 crew members, we could have just had 50 more passengers, made even more money. Not that it would have helped us in the end. Like goddamn storm. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, you think Sail had anything to do with that storm? You think that thing had anything to do with it?
There's no way, Captain. Sail wouldn't do that. Sail would never do that to us.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
not
he's helped
Sail.
us so much.
Yeah, well, what about his patron?
I mean, the one we can't say?
Yeah.
The wizard man, for some reason, keeps saying.
I'm forever told that wizards are smart, but you wouldn't think
Well,
it.
I talked to Sail about it, and his patron, the way he described him, made it seem like a cool guy. You know, he can give him powers. He's out there. He's helped us out. You know, he seems pretty. I was talking to him of maybe, you know, maybe his patron could give me some power as well. Maybe he could help me punch people even harder. You know.
I don't know if you need any help with that, Archie, but yeah, maybe. I don't know what you'd have to do to win its favor, though. You see, because I'm thinking, Sail seems pretty hell-bent on this White Prince guy. But if our ship had never sunk, he'd have never even been in the Dardanelles. So, and let's think about it. That ship, does that look like a ship that could be taken down by any normal storm to you? I think it was, like I said,
No.
finest
People were saying
Arcadian
it's-
engineering. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people were saying it's unsinkable, right?
Unsinkable, yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
They also said it was unhijackable, but that turned out not to be true.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just, I don't know, let's just be careful here. We've been on a whistle-stop fucking tour of this place since we crash landed on that shore. This is the first time we've really got a chance to speak, just the two of us, but the two of them, they're dangerous.
Yeah, you know, Captain, the way the Magic Man was, you know, the whole goblin thing, I understand why we did it, and, you know, I've always got your back when we do stuff like that, but the way he was,
Yeah.
he was, like, laughing, he was, like, enjoying it, it was a little weird.
Yeah,
I think,
and
like-
did Nilram ever tell you what Sail did to the bodies in that mansion on top of the hill that time where we fought the Swordsmaster? You remember?
Oh, when I fainted, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Apparently, he cut them all up, hung them from the gates.
Ooh.
We can control them for now, but they're growing in power. We need to just make sure that we keep ourselves in a favorable position, if you know what I mean.
Captain, you know, no matter what happens, I'm always gonna have your back.
I know. Yeah. Just thought we'd have this talk just to make sure we're on the same page here.
Always, Captain. Don't worry. But
All right.
I think Sail. I think if he wanted to fuck us over, you know, I feel like he would have. We got to keep an eye.
You'd have done it by now.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Nilram's got ambition when it comes to our group here. Sail's ambition seems to be directed towards the center of this storm. The White Prince. I feel like his motivations can be controlled. It's Nilram's a little bit more chaotic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just enjoy the trip.
It's so nice to be out on sea again. I'll start singing
yeah.
the sea shanty.
Yeah, okay, I join in. I'm sure Wiley knows it too. Or maybe we teach it to Wiley because it's like an Arcadian sea shanty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea shanties are enjoyed by all. You guys make it to Angel Island, which Wiley informs you is the proper name for this vacation abode.
All right. When we land there, or as we drop them off, how's the best way to drop them off even?
Get near shore, let them hop overboard and swim the rest of the way. Or, you know, put them on a little skiff and then row them back.
Yeah, I think I'll stay in the boat and then I'll send Archie out in a skiff with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Archie can sail back. And I guess I'll tell them that we'll meet them here in a week's time. Sunrise in 7 days' time. And before I send them off in the skiff, I think I will give Wiley 25 gold and Bobby 15.
All right.
So that should keep them going for a week. 40 gold between them.
Excellent. Mark it off the party sheet.
Done.
And then you return back to Port Ferris, to your
Yeah.
secret base. Does your secret base have a name?
Not yet. We pick up fish and potatoes on the way.
Yep. Would you mark off maybe another 100 silver for fish and potatoes?
Vinegar. And vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Party returns back to the underground lair. Actually, before you get back, Nilbrum and Sale, you guys have a few days, just the two of you and the newcomers. Bar gets set up, good food gets made. It's much more enjoyable than Bobby's cooking. Anything the two of you are up to?
I think Nilram just kind of studying. He needs to do his new spell. He feels bad, but he literally has to like spend time on that and figure it out.
All right, Sale, what about you?
I'm going to be trying to sort of befriend our captives, but I'm also going to be experimenting with a few spells that I want to like see what happens when I use them. So that's kind of the crux of what I'd like to do in this time.
Sure. Let's start with the spells. What spells are you playing with?
I would like to make sure nobody's around, but I'd like to privately find out what happens when I cast Create Holy Symbol. What appears in my hands? Is it just, the spell component that I need for all my spells? Do I just get sand, or is there maybe a recognizable symbol of some kind that appears?
That's a very good question. You cast Create Holy Symbol, and a cube, like a perfectly flat, even on all sides cube of sandstone appears before you.
How big is it? Like roughly like hand size? Like it's just
Could fit in the palm of your hand, so maybe like 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. 10 centimeters cubed.
So it'd be like almost like a Rubik's Cube type size. You'd like about that size. Gotcha.
A little bit smaller than a Rubik's Cube, I think.
And I assume this sand will work like the pendant I have around my neck. If I rub it, actual like usable spell component sand would come off it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
I'm sorry, 6.35 centimeters. I can't convert. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so it's like it's not a huge thing, but it's like it's hefty enough that you could feel it like in your hand. Yeah. Yeah, I'm perplexed by this. This is like, I've never seen a god have a holy symbol that is a cube of sand. It's a cube of sandstone. It's also like the fact that it is a what's the word I'm looking for here? Like the holy symbol is itself a spell component, or rather it is what's the word? Like a natural element, or it's not. Usually symbols are given meaning. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like sandstone just has meaning. It's a rock.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Whereas
normally it's
you might shape something.
Yeah, someone's holy symbol might be like a pair of golden interlocked rings, and it's just always a pair of golden interlocked rings. But this is, you use part of the holy symbol to cast your spells, and if it starts as a cube, you use it enough, and soon it's just going to be like a ball or like a sphere or an oblong thing. Like the holy symbol will change in shape and weight and volume over the time. It is not a It is
fixed.
a most unusual holy symbol, yes.
Because most holy symbols, this is just for my own personal information, would usually be, like, say, the symbol of a stair, it might be, I don't know, like a wooden carving of 3 triangles, is it? Or
Yeah, a triangle with a ring on each corner.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's really weird. I don't even know how to respond to that, because I was expecting, like, maybe something... I was expecting sand, but I didn't know, like, I will try. I will inspect the cube and see if I can learn anything from it. Like, is there anything magical, or is it just like extremely mundane?
Yeah, you've got time to inspect it. Let's take a look. It does not radiate any magic. The sand appears to be of a similar type to this one that you have. The coloring between them is not exact, but they're both that sort of off-white, not quite brown, sandy color. The new cube is darker in color than the current pendant that you're wearing, but only by a shade. It's like you put a little less milk in your coffee. Non-magical coloring is slightly different. It's about 2.5 inches on a side. It doesn't come with any bindings or anything to attach it to anything. You'd have to like tie something around it to affix it to yourself. And for all purposes and probes, it just appears to be pretty normal sandstone. You get the impression if you were to take a hammer to it, it would just like shatter and break into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah,
Seems very mundane.
I'll spend the rest of the day just like shaping it into another pennant. That should be fairly simple because it's just like sandstone.
Yeah, real easy to do, no problem. And you've got plenty of string around. That's in your initial supplies that you bought.
Yeah,
then
I'm making it for Archie basically.
Oh. Then you wanted to chat with Janet and Brophy and get to know them a little bit, right?
Yeah, I just want to basically check in on them because they're in a pretty confusing time, right? They've been essentially, everyone they know has been killed. They've been kidnapped by pirates who work with goblins, and now they live in a island.
Yeah. Well, as you're chatting with them, Brophy lets you know this isn't the first time he's been captured by pirates. I'm not from around these parts. I'm originally from a large island off the western coast of Solemn. On my way to Arcadia once, captured by pirates, ended up being enslaved, sold. I'm actually adopted into the Brophy family. I wasn't born with this name,
I'll say to him, hey, that's kind of what happened to me when I first came here. Well, looks like we do have something in common.
Well, there are a whole bunch of us on the boat. Yeah. Sail's kind of a weird name. Where'd you get that?
My parents were kind of weird guys. They named me and my brother Sail and Bale, because in their old tongue, I think it was their great-grandparents spoke a local dialect, and it meant something else. I never really bothered to learn the language. You'd have to ask my brother, Bale, what the names mean.
I knew a guy named Bale once.
Really? Where? It's like...
He was a prisoner on the pirate ship with me.
When? How long ago was this?
Decades? Something like that? 15 years ago? 20
Decades?
years ago? It's been a long time.
Decades? But my brother was captured, but he's only been missing a couple of years.
Probably a coincidence then. When was your brother captured?
This is out of character. When was my brother captured?
You were both pretty young, right? So how old are you now?
I think we originally said it was like I went home and then it was a few years later that I came back to the Dardanelles. So
it's only been
would've
like 5 years, 8 years, something like that?
Yeah, probably 5 to 8 years would be reasonable.
He goes, yeah, it was before that time.
Before then, Bale. It's such a rare name. Are you sure it was that long ago? have you lost track of time living on these islands?
Well, see, the thing is, I'm not exactly sure how long we were captured. They spent a long time underground. 1 year, 5-year period, I'm not sure. Pirates were hiding out near Port Prince, and they left us underground with a bunch of food and water, and came back to refill it every now and then. There were maybe 40 of us captives, and sometimes they'd come by and take people out, and sometimes they'd come and drop people off. They were trying to ransom us all for money. This was before I was adopted.
And how did you get off? How did you escape?
Eventually, they told us they didn't need us anymore, that Bale and I were completely worthless and nobody wanted us. And after years of trying to ransom us, they just kicked us out into Port Prince. We went our separate ways then. I mean, it felt like 10 years underground. It might have actually only been a couple. Let's see. Then we both made it to our way to Port Prince, went our separate ways in there. I happened to come across this. He explains the story of like a carriage that was going through town where the horses got spooked by some kids that were like playing pranks on a nearby neighbor and accidentally spooked the horses, and they headed off down a street and like were barreling towards certain death for the riders. When this guy John Brophy managed to like calm the horses down enough that they didn't careen off, and he was soon rewarded, and they realized he didn't have anywhere to go, and they took him into the family, and that's where he met the other Brophy brother. After a couple of years, he was adopted into the family, and then the family quickly fell on hard times, partially due to the adoption. The neighbors, they didn't like taking in a outsider, and quickly all of our contracts dried up. Parents couldn't handle it. Mother died of heartbreak. Father took us out to the outer rim where we could find something more affordable. My brother and I set up a restaurant, and then years later my father died, and my brother and I ran our restaurant up until a crazy man showed up and docked his ship on the wrong dock.
Hey, I feel for you because I lost my brother too. But I think you know him. Do you remember what Bale looked like?
Yeah, and he describes someone that sort of fits your brother's description, but he uses like long hair and a long beard because they like were underground for so long together. But about the same height, probably a little bit thinner than your description of your brother. Brownish hair, longer face. Maybe 130. Your brother probably weighed closer to 150.
Yep.
But the description's not entirely off.
I'll actually go over and like put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Thank you so much. You've given me a small sliver of hope for my mother's broken heart. My brother may actually still be alive. I had come here, but I had already assumed he was dead, and I just needed to get away from her."
There's one way you could thank me.
Like, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm not doing that.
You could set me free. You could set me free. You could set me free.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I misread situations. Yeah. Maybe if I find my brother, I'll lower your sentence. But you've been super useful. Thank you.
If you want to look for him, Port Prince is where I'd start.
For sure. Thank you. And I'll like try to like read the situation. Did he come away with that like feeling like that was like a good conversation, or does he feel like, oh god, I need to get out of here, sort of a thing? Obviously he wants to get out of here, but is he kind of content with the situation he's in?
Once upon a time he was a captive with potentially your brother for many years. Now he is captured by his former comrade's brother. So it's sort of a similar situation to as it was before. There's definitely a familiarity, almost like a familiarity.
Resignation?
Yeah. But like now he's on the other side. If He was captive with Bale. Now he's captive by Sale. So there's a family connection, and maybe, it's a little bit lighter than it was before. It's a little bit more, it's not just I'm captured by bloodthirsty pirates. It's like, hey, I know this pirate's brother, and he and I were buds for a long time. Maybe things are gonna work out. You know?
Yeah. Brilliant. That's all I really have to say to Brophy, other than like, if my brother says, so, if I find him, I think I will give you extra time served or let you go. I will have to talk to my crew though.
Yeah. And the rest of the party will show back up and make their way into the secret area. Nilrim will have to be sort of keeping an eye out to let them in, but I think that's all manageable and doesn't need to be worked on too much.
Yeah, Nilrim will let them in. And we level up.
Yeah,
I'll deliver the fish and chips to the cook, Janet.
Let's calculate experience for last session and this one. Our party fought goblins.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sacked town. Yeah. With some help.
Yeah. Made a shit ton of gold.
Let's take a look at our goblin encounter.
Imagine we got rogue XP for gold stolen.
Oh boys, we gotta hope for some good XP.
Yeah.
Should be pretty good.
How much are you thinking? Like 5?
No.
If it's 5,000, we're good.
I don't think it'll be 5,000, personally.
Then we're not good.
It might be.
Let's see. There were a whole bunch of goblins that you fought and killed on the beach that time.
True.
Yeah, we got more healing salves as well.
So we ended that quest.
You sort of talked your way out of some situations. You bought yourself some time by siding with the town against the goblins, and so you didn't get jailed right away. That's worth some experience.
Yep.
You switched sides, joined with the goblins, and sacked the town. That's worth that amount of experience.
Be a big XP.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, we're not getting XP for spells cast or money stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're getting big XP here, Nick. That's what's happening.
Oh, you killed a bunch of guards as well in the fight, so Becca is worth a little bit of a special XP because you had a relationship with her. You took 2 people captive.
One being a noble.
Finished up the other quests. For that, RP with the Wiley and Bobby, trusting them to, go on an island. You're making progress in your relationship with them and sort of bringing Bobby into the fold. You've sort of promoted him and turning them into proper crew members and not just prisoners.
Discovered some new islands.
Oh, right. Discovered a bunch of new islands. Well, one new island. Okay, and divide this between 4 players. Everybody is right. Mrs. Zeros.
Yeah, it sounds like you
Probably. You probably missed a 0. One take 412 experience. Don't forget to say your 10% if you get it.
No, it's 1305.
Oof. No, I'm just not going to be happy with that.
That's
Is
right.
he saying 13,000?
1,305.
No, there's no way, Koibu. That's no experience.
I missed something.
There's 0%
Salty Bets
chance.
gave you guys 750.
We
Yeah, we didn't
sacked
even
an
do
entire town.
Yeah.
Well, the goblins did most of the work for you, right?
That doesn't matter because that was our fucking
650.
plan.
Let me redo the math on this one. Hold on.
Yeah, please.
We
Please.
should have killed the Inquisitor. You would have leveled for sure.
Island. Prisoners times 2. Finished up that quest over there.
Yeah, how
I
much did
think
you
one
get
of
for your
my-
pirate fox sale?
I got 10%, which was 1400 XP.
So just throwing
What?
that out there, Neil.
Yeah,
I
just
think I
kinda-
did miss a 0 on some of the sacking XP.
Ah.
Okay.
Ah.
5,000 XP copium.
Yeah, I think I put something in as 500 when it should have been 5,000.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
But you know,
I
that's
don't think
before it
that's
gets
enough on
divided
the,
by.
Yeah, it's still not going to be not been enough for no one to level, but
No, I'm
A
okay
ma-
with
a
this
man can
actually.
dream.
yeah.
I'll just come with better pirate facts next week, and that's how I level.
2,494. There we go.
Like that.
Something was
Plus 10%, right?
yeah. So 2,743 for those of you with the bonus.
Oh. 1,600 in Nilrim levels.
125.
Yeah, same.
What are you leveling to? 6?
5.
Fuck, what's your XP?
I'm at 18,603.
Wait, do fighters level slower than priests?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
at first.
Oh, I suppose there's a disparity at higher levels then.
Wait, you're at 18,000 XP?
Yes.
You level up. You're leveled.
Wait, I thought I'm 20k.
No,
level.
16.
No, it's 16. Yeah.
Oh shit! Nice.
Boom.
All right, what do I get?
You will get an additional 1d10 plus 3 hit points. You will get an additional +1 to hit. And it's level 5, and I think that's it.
No skills, no.
What
No,
level
level
does he
6
second
you get
attack?
another fighting weapon proficiency. And then you can become a master with your fists and gain an additional 2 to hit and 1 to damage. But that
People are
is
saying
next
mastery
level.
with punches, but that's apparently level 6.
Yeah, you get the slot at level 6. In theory, if you
Okay.
do like some super crafty skill saving point thingies, you can get it at 5, but then you're like wasting a proficiency slot for 2 levels to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, you might do that anyway, and then they'll say, no, you can't have it yet.
So go ahead and roll us a d10 plus 3 and don't roll poorly.
Well, need to roll big on this one. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
I'm calling it 8.
I'll take an 8.
Is that it before or after the 3 is applied?
Oh, that's
Before.
before.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
That could be worse.
I mean, 7 is like 2 goblins worth of health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good HP.
So I'm at 35 max. I'm also assuming we're all full HP now.
Yeah, I think you guys rest here long enough and you can get up.
Okay.
You'll get
The
another.
additional +1, do I put that in anywhere?
Yeah, I just added it for you. It's in the red thing on the right side that says hit adjust, and there's like a 4 under the
Perfect.
from level. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So 35 is your new max HP. That is a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
When do I get a new non-weapon proficiency?
Next level. You get weapon and non-weapon at 6.
Got it.
I think at 7 he gets his 2 attacks per round then, isn't it?
Yes. At level 7, you get an additional attack per round.
Oh shit.
You're gonna be a big guy. Yeah, I think it's 7.
I don't remember. I looked at the table one time and
Yep. 7 is an additional attack every round.
Sick.
Or every other round? every other round. It goes from 1/1 to melee warrior. Yeah, it's an extra half attack a round. So with your specialization, you'll be doing 2 attacks per round with your right hand. Perfect. So, party members, you guys can rest and relax in your little island base for a little while. What is our direction here? Where would you like to go? What would you like to do? Do you want to spend the next week thinking about it?
I think maybe we go back to where we've just been, right? You know, check up on the Goblin Island, and then if not, check out some more of the stuff around there.
Going back and checking on the goblins is good. Nilrim still needs 1500 XP, so
Yeah.
however we can get that.
Even just exploring and finding out, like, did the White Prince come back and wipe out the goblins, or whatever happened?
Yeah. Be interesting to know what the result of that kind of action is.
Mm-hmm.
What level are you now, Archie?
I am level 5.
Oh, you do get saving throws at 5.
Saving
That's
throws,
an odd
yeah.
level for a fighter.
Okay.
Paul. Let's see. Level 5 fighter, your saving throws all improve by... They all go down by 2, which is an improvement, except for your saving throw versus breath weapon, which goes down by 3.
What is a breath weapon? Is that like dragons breathing
Dragon's
fire
breath,
and shit?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that should be 11, 13, 12, 13, 14. I'm looking at your character sheet.
yeah,
It looks
they're-
like they did not go down last time. They should have either.
Ooh.
11, 13, 12, 13, 14.
11, 13, 12, 13, 14?
11, 13, 12, 13, 14, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Perfect. So we're nearing the end of our session time here. Do you guys want to set your direction now? Do you want to take the week to think about where you want to go? I know you said back to that area in general. Is that just like a poke your head in and see what's up and determine what
I think
happens
it's a
from
poke our
there?
head and then check some of the other
We're
islands
gonna
out
get
around
Wiley
there.
first.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that we've done that by the time we leave.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
I'll roll some encounter checks to make sure you guys don't end up alone by yourself. Although that could be fun. We'll see. We'll determine that next time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
let's
I
just
think...
figure out what we do next week then. Because we
Perfect.
might want to go do the stuff with Wiley at that island.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Yeah, he might come up with some leads. I did tell him to do some research.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I would like to give. I assume Archie and everyone is back.
Yeah,
From-
we can say they're
Yeah.
back, or you could say you have done this before they left.
I will go to Archie and be like, Archie, check it out. I got my god to give me a holy symbol. I know you were kind of interested in it, so here you go. And I'll give him like a little. It's like a little sandstone. It's kind of heart shaped, but I'm not very good at crafting. So
Oh, it's awesome. It looks like 2 fists. That's so sick.
yeah, it came like that.
That's really
that's
cool.
funny.
Thank you so much,
I-
Sale.
I asked my god to make you a holy symbol, and there it is.
What is it? So, how do I use it? What does it do?
I think you have to like rub the sand off and say the god's name. But I don't know if he's cool with you doing that yet. I think you'd have to like make friends with him first.
Okay. How do I
But
make
you-
friends with him?
He hasn't told me yet. I don't think he likes having lots of friends. So I think it's just me for now.
Okay. All right. Then no, that's fine.
But maybe if you get into a lot of trouble, like if you're drowning, you could try it. Like I mean, if you're gonna die, you may as well try.
All right. Well, thank you, Sale. I think this will come in handy.
If nothing
Archie
else,
proceeds to beat people over the head with it.
if nothing else, it's a symbol of our friendship, Archie. And I'll like hold out my hand and shake it to shake.
I give you an extremely firm handshake.
Nice.
And that's where we will end for the day. When we come back next week, we will return to Krob Strait, see what the goblins have done, see what the White Prince's men have done.
We have some Patreon questions.
We do.
Ooh, Yes. Let's do it.
What is the short-term goal that each player's character currently has? Nilrum's is to figure out the ship and the bottle stuff. He's been working on it for quite a while, so hopefully he can get that done. That's his short-term goal.
Archie just wants to be out on the sea, wants to hang out with Captain John and go on adventures, and he wants to teach Bobby how to punch.
Short-term goal is definitely find like a new ship and some way to avoid this problem we're having where we can't dock anywhere without being immediately under suspicion.
I'll be honest, I've been coughing a lot, so I had a hard time hearing the question.
What is Sale's short-term goal?
I think Sale has kind of achieved his current short-term goal, which was to solidify himself in the party, make friends with everyone, and establish a relationship. He's friends with Archie. He has a workable relationship with Nilrum, and he has a almost sidekick, helpful relationship with Captain Winters. So he's starting to think a little bit more long-term now.
Next question. Now that you're all somewhat established and in control of your lives to a greater extent, for each character, what is keeping you in the Dardanelles? You are all at tremendous risk, being enemies of the White Prince, and could easily sail to Drekus and be under much less risk and still prosper. Nilrum is staying here. He knows about the Fountain of Youth, and he likes his friends, and his friends like killing, and Nilrum likes killing. So he's got a few reasons to be here. Seems pretty easy for him to kill and find the Fountain of Youth.
I think John's kind of a impulsive kind of guy, right? And with all that's going on, it kind of feels like we're got some momentum here and part of like something bigger. So he's kind of involved in that and just kind of seeing where it takes him. But to be honest, the real reason to stick around is that he's very worried about his soul if he were to just abandon Sale after promising to help with his work for Rohi. So I think John wants to stick around until he's pretty certain that his afterlife is secured.
Yeah, Archie's just along for the ride with John.
Sale has secretly Sale has an ego, and he thinks that being part of something bigger, like taking on the White Prince, is exactly where he should be in life.
Question for the captain. What are your thoughts on the reputation the group seems to be building? Are you not worried at all that the reputation of being bloodthirsty savages will make it harder to pull Littlefinger-esque shenanigans where you betray and use other people?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of why I've been resisting like just killing every NPC, because I kind of wanted to make it part of my character to, like have like side deals and play people off against each other and etc. etc. But kind of there's not many NPCs that are surviving their first interaction with us. So I am a little bit worried about the reputation. I was kind of hoping that we could go down south and maybe have a good reputation as our alter egos down south and be bloodthirsty pirates up north. But depending on what we're seeing, that might have gone the wrong way now.
Maybe in the east,
We got a good reputation with the goblins now.
Yeah.
Surely in the east we'll have a good reputation, Cope.
Yeah, exactly.
Sale doesn't have the ability to freely reverse spells, right?
Some spells are
He does.
reversible,
can't.
and he can memorize the spell and then cast either version of it. It is one of those other powers of his god that I was just gonna not mention and let him do.
Well, I'll ask the question then.
Out.
Without spoiling anything, could we get an explanation on what we know so far about Sale's abilities to freely reverse spells? Does he not require the reverse spell components? And if not, is there any way to get stuff like Unholy Water anywhere on Dardan? I guess that's for Koibu.
I could attempt to answer, which would maybe be more vague.
That's
because I know less. Sale currently does not know why he can reverse spells. He just knows that sometimes he's like, I want to like bless my allies, and then by the time he's about to do it at the last second, he's like, no, I'm going to curse. And he's able to change certain spells at will without really having to do like the normal amount of work you would have to do would be something like you'd have to actually choose, I'm choosing bless or I'm choosing curse, whereas he can kind of switch them even mid cast, like is sometimes something he can do. At least that's how it's happened before, I think, and it wasn't questioned. I don't know if Koibu wants to correct me there. The other thing about spell components, Sale's only spell component seems to be sand, with the exception of a few like more ritually spells, like he needs the silver dice, I think it is, to cast certain like no thingy or something. I can't remember what it's called. It's like no moment, not no moment, but it's a similar spell.
Mhm.
And is there not any way to get stuff like unholy water anywhere on the Dardanelles? I don't know what that question means. That part of
Yeah,
the question
so
I
Yeah,
don't understand.
Holy water is made by 3 priests casting 3 spells all together. One is create water, one is purify water, and one is bless. And they kind of do that simultaneously, and you create and then purify and then bless the water all together by 3 different clerics, and it creates a barrel of holy water. So you could make unholy water if you had 2 other clerics of Rohi with you to do it. But on your own, there's no way to make holy or unholy water.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's all the questions that we have. If you want to ask questions, join the Patreon, the $5 tier. Yeah, check it out.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, back next week.
You guys
Thanks
next
for
week.
watching. Remember to check out the Patreon.
True.
And the subreddit afterwards.
We are currently about halfway to our goal of funding the campaign, so if any of you could see it in your hearts to help us out, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's weekly, so you'll be charged per episode, and then we have a special Discord that you get to join and stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
See you guys next time.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.